living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what happens to you if you work for Starfleet and wear a red shirt. So thank you everyone for joining me once again for a lovely discussion about the shape of our planet. I'm still punishing myself for my life's past crimes, I guess. Just to let you know what's coming up on the channel this week. We have, tomorrow, MC Toon and I will be doing a special 3-year on YouTube anniversary stream featuring a debate with Trey Hutchinson. On Thursday is round 2 with Fung from Hong Kong. And then on Saturday is round 2 with Tony Naum from Australia, as well as at some point this week my new episode of Flerfs Are Idiots and a special 60-second video which is an entry to the Kyle Hill Wormhole Challenge. If you don't know what that is, just Google the Kyle Hill Wormhole Challenge and you'll find out. So lots coming up this week, but today we have Rachie 00000, lots of zeros I guess, on the channel to talk about the shape of the Earth and gravity and stuff like that. So Rachie, why don't you say hello?
Hello everyone, I'm Rachie 50.
Yeah, I only put 4, so I'm sorry, but you know, 1 0 is the same as 5 at the end of the day. So you think the Earth is flat, yes?
Yep.
Would you mind just explaining briefly why you have come to that conclusion?
Because there's no evidence of a rotating, spinning space ball.
No evidence, like none at all.
Nope.
I mean, all the measurements and experiments and observations and none of that is evidence.
Well, would you agree something can look like something, but is really not that what it looks like?
Well, that's why you do experiments, to test things, isn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes those experiments might not be conclusive and might actually give you a different result to what is actually reality.
No, experiments can't give you different results to reality. That's why we have experiments in science to determine whether a hypothesis is, holds up or not. And there is no experiments that would demonstrate that the flat Earth is a thing. In fact, all experiments, when you try to give 2 hypotheses, one being flat, one being a globe, always show up as a globe. I've never seen a single experiment that would give the conclusion that the Earth is anything other than a rotating globe. But
it depends what you determine as an experiment, isn't it? Like a lot of the things you
I let science do that, really.
Yes, for a lot of the things that you think is an experiment isn't. For example, an auto level or a theodolite, that's not an experiment. That is an optical device that shows you optical things. It's not an experiment. I don't think anyone
has ever said that an auto level or theodolite is an experiment. It's a piece of equipment that can be used in an experiment.
So it's not an experiment, so therefore not conclusive.
No, but it's a piece of equipment that can be used in an experiment.
Which can be what's the word I'm after? Can be manipulated, for lack of a better word, by optical illusions.
By optical illusions, I'm assuming you mean refraction, yes?
Optical illusions, there can be different types of optical illusions, not just refraction, and it depends what you mean by refraction.
Well, any kind of optical illusion or refraction or distortion of the atmosphere has already been quantified, and we know what the manipulations of the atmosphere do to the path of light. So those things have also been experimented on and come to the conclusion that we understand how they operate, which is why we're able to take accurate measurements, because we can rely on the experiments that have been done before to conclusively show one thing or the other. So there isn't any optical illusions as such. It's just distortions to light that we understand how they work. There is so many experiments that demonstrate that the Earth is a globe. A lot of the ones involving gravity, because if gravity is real, then the Earth's a globe. And that really ends the argument, is because no matter what Anthony Riley likes to say,
I'm a dumb flat earther and I don't understand science.
Gravity is real and relative density disequilibrium is a bunch of fucking nonsense.
Relative density disequilibrium explains it a lot better than gravity.
Not in the slightest. Not in the
100%.
slightest. No, not in the slightest. It has no explanation for anything without making assumptions that there is just a universal down for some reason. And that is not something we accept in science. We look for mechanisms behind what happens. Relative density disequilibrium literally cannot explain things that happen with gravity. It does not have the correct calculations and variables available to decide what a vector is, what a direction is, what velocity things will go, what acceleration will have. You certainly
I'm
can't
guessing you
explain
haven't
buoyancy.
watched my video then.
I have, and they're fucking hilarious. I mean,
So the one that has
Dunning-Kruger,
calculations
queen
for
of
relative
the
density?
world. Dunning-Kruger, queen of the world. Relative density.
So the one that has
disequilibrium.
relative density.
Right,
so the
I
one that
can
has
destroy
equations
relative
for
density disequilibrium with one simple question: why do the densities arrange
Okay, why
themselves
don't?
like? Why do the densities arrange themselves like that, and not the other way round?
Because it's a natural law. More dense goes down, less dense goes up. There's nothing to support
Why?
Because it's about support. If you haven't got the support to support the
why doesn't it go the other way
is,
though? What causes it to
again,
have
support.
wait?
If you haven't
What
got-
causes the density tower to arrange itself with the most dense at the bottom and the less dense at the top, and not the other way round? What is the cause of that actually happening?
Relative density disequilibrium. That is the
That doesn't
cause.
explain why it is that way, because relative density disequilibrium could work just as well if we just flip it all upside down and do that. You know, that would give the same explanation that you try and give, but it doesn't, because there is no reason for the density to be organizing themselves in that fashion. Yes, we can accept the fact that densities will arrange themselves based on their own density. Relative density, if you want. However, relative density disequilibrium, the fucking nonsense that Riley come up with, does not explain the reason why the densities organize themselves from more dense to less dense. There has to be a reason for that to happen, and relative density disequilibrium, the only reason it can give is, well, because down is down.
No, that's not true. If anything, gravity can't explain that.
Gravity explains it perfectly.
No, it doesn't. For
It
instance,
100% does. Rachie, it 100% explains it perfectly. You being ignorant about how gravity works doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Okay, please explain to me how gravity does not explain. Actually, no. You flipped the script there. We'll stick with the relative density disequilibrium before you go on to trying to disprove gravity. And using just relative density disequilibrium, explain to me why the densities originally arranged themselves in that order.
Again, it's about structural support.
Why does it not have it the other way? Why is it trying to go down? Why, if something is more dense than something else, does it try to go down and not the other way?
It doesn't try to go down. It depends on the relative density. But again, it's about the
if
structural
something is
support.
more dense than something else, we can agree that it will try to go down more, yes?
Yes.
Right, so why does it try to go down and not the other way?
Because that is relative density disequilibrium. If something is more dense than the medium it's in, then it will go down.
Why? Why down?
If
Why not
something
the
is
other
less
way?
dense, then it will go up.
You can say that over and over, but you have to give a reason why down. Why in the first place
Again,
are the
structural
more
support.
dense? No, that doesn't answer the question. Why in the first place are the things more dense down? Why does it need support from underneath to stop it from going down?
Well, how are you going to support something without support?
Well,
it needs support to support it.
But why down and not the other way? That's what you need to answer.
Because of support. I could ask you the same question about gravity. Why does gravity not make things go up instead of down?
Because that's not how gravity works, and we can go through that. That's
not how RDD works.
But there's a reason why gravity works that way. There isn't a reason why relative density...
And there's a reason why RDD works that way.
No, there's not. There's absolutely not a reason why the more dense things are at the bottom. It does not explain it. Why, in the first place, does it have to have a support? Why, if that support isn't there, will it go down? What causes that movement to go down? Where is the force causing an acceleration? Where does it come from?
So you expect something to go down whether it has support or not?
No, that's not what I said. I said why if it
That is
didn't have...
basically what you're saying.
No, it's really not. I said why if it doesn't have support, does it go down? What causes
Because
that
it doesn't
direction?
have support. You've just said it.
Yeah, but why if the support's not there, does it go down? What's causing it to move?
Because there's no support.
Yeah, that's not how physics works. There has to be a force to cause an acceleration. Where does the force come from?
Well, a force, it was, you want to bring forces into it. Well, you all know gravity is not a force. So
No, okay.
that's
nice non sequitur there. We're talking about relative density disequilibrium. There has to be a force because there is an acceleration. So where, in relative density disequilibrium, does the acceleration in a particular direction come from?
I'm glad you said there has to be a force. Unfortunately, gravity isn't a force.
No, we're not talking about gravity right now. We're talking about relative density disequilibrium.
Oh, we're not talking about gravity, but you just
not
said
right
there has
now.
to be a force.
We'll get there.
Gravity
We'll
isn't
get
a
there.
force.
But you are not getting away with not answering questions about relative density disequilibrium. In relative density disequilibrium, where does the force to cause the acceleration come from?
From relative density disequilibrium, from the
That
support.
is circular reasoning.
Density.
That is circular reasoning. What causes it to accelerate in a particular direction? What is the mechanism behind it?
Disequilibrium.
Disequilibrium
And being more
isn't a
dense
force.
than the medium.
Why
is,
down?
though. Let
Why
me
down
explain
and
it
not
this
up?
way for you.
Why down and not up, though?
Okay. Actually, things do go up. But let me explain it this way for you. If, say, we had a medium that was 10 kgm3 and it was, equal all the way through, it was 10 kgm3 all the way through, and we had an object which was 10 kgm3, it's neither going to rise nor fall because it's not in disequilibrium, thus proving when something is in disequilibrium, you get an acceleration.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain the mechanism behind it. Why does that acceleration
It does,
occur?
though, because again, if it was in equilibrium, if it was the same all the way through and the object was the same density,
Okay,
the same
but
mass, the
why
volume,
does it decide it needs to move out of equilibrium? What causes that? Because we all know
again,
density isn't a
the
force.
the uneven distribution of mass.
The uneven distribution of mass does not have a particular
Yes.
direction to go.
But it does because there's no support. If you take away the medium, what's supporting it? Nothing there. So
Yeah, but why
it will
doesn't it go
down.
up? Because there's less dense stuff above, so why is it not going up? There's nothing stopping it from going up. There's no support above. And if it wants to move out of the, if it's a different density and it wants to move out, why doesn't it go up instead of down to move out of that density to, have its disequilibrium? Why does the acceleration decide to happen in one particular direction? Where does the force
It
come
doesn't
from?
things go up to and accelerate up to. But to answer your question, to ask you a question, why would you expect something to go up? Like, if it's less dense above, why would you expect it to go up?
Because the buoyant force is the thing, which relies on gravity.
The buoyant force is not really a thing. Again, that's relative density disequilibrium.
No, the buoyant force is
Something less dense
100% a thing. It's absolutely a thing. As a submariner, you saying that buoyancy isn't a thing is quite insulting. Buoyancy was the ability to calculate buoyant forces. Literally decided where my submarine was. You couldn't do that with relative density
the buoyant force
disequilibrium.
is literally
And
relative
density
density.
disequilibrium cannot explain something like siphoning water from one level to another. What causes that to happen?
Can gravity explain that?
Yeah, absolutely, that can, yeah.
Okay, explain that with gravity.
It's causing a force, which makes an acceleration.
Sorry, gravity is not a force.
I didn't say gravity was a force. I said it causes a force.
What causes a force?
Gravity.
Gravity is not a force. So what
I didn't
causes
say
a force?
gravity
You're
was a
saying
force.
not
Did I
force,
say
but-
did I say gravity
No,
was a
you
force? I
didn't.
said
No,
gravity
no, you
causes
didn't.
a force. Gravity causes a force.
So a non-force causes a force.
No, gravity is not a non-force. Gravity is an acceleration which
So
causes a force.
gravity is a force, yes?
No, gravity causes a force.
And how does gravity cause a force?
Because gravity is an acceleration.
And how can you have acceleration without a force when Newton's first and second law tells you that in order to have acceleration, you need a force?
You've just debunked yourself. So if you have an acceleration,
No, you debunked gravity, and you've also debunked
Rachie, you
Newton's laws,
literally just
depending on which
debunked
way you wanna
yourself,
look at
and
it.
you're too fucking stupid to realise that. You have an
Okay, go
acceleration.
ahead and tell me.
We know there is an acceleration because things accelerate.
Which means there has to be a force.
Yeah, now exactly.
Yeah,
so
and gravity's not a force.
and Never said gravity
Exactly.
was a
You
force.
debunked
Never said
yourself.
gravity was a force. Gravity is the acceleration,
Therefore,
the G.
you debunked yourself.
Do you want
Gravity's not
to
a
shut the
force.
fuck up and listen? You need to learn physics, so shut
Okay,
up and
go
listen,
on
okay?
then.
Gravity is an acceleration. G, the acceleration due to gravity, roughly 9.8 meters per second squared on Earth. There is a mass. Anything has a mass. This lighter has a mass. It accelerates towards the ground. Acceleration times the mass equals force. The force
Can't have
caused
acceleration
by
without
gravity.
a force.
The acceleration is part of the force. The mass times
Can't have
acceleration
acceleration
equals
without
force.
a force.
That is the force. Mass times acceleration equals a force.
Yes, but how do you get the acceleration in the first place without a force?
Because of gravity. Gravity is the acceleration.
Gravity isn't a force. How do you
I didn't say gravity was a force. I said gravity was an acceleration. Do you have issues
Okay,
converting
listen.
short-term to long-term memory? Gravity
No,
is
you're just
an
not
acceleration.
listening.
Gravity causes a force. Stop saying gravity isn't
You're
a
just
force,
not
because
listening.
that is a straw man of what we are trying to say. Gravity causes a force. The emergent force
Okay,
of
you ready to
gravity
listen?
is caused by the acceleration.
You muted, I can't.
Okay, are you ready to carry on and stop being dumb by saying the same thing over and over? If you ran away? Hello?
Okay, I missed a lot of that because for some reason it cut out. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. To repeat myself, stop strawmanning me
Okay.
by saying gravity is not a force, because I'm not saying gravity is a force. Gravity causes a force. The force, F, is caused by the acceleration due to gravity times the mass of an object. The same way that centrifugal force exists, that you can calculate because of a mass being accelerated. The force is a result of gravity. Gravity
Okay,
isn't
can I
a force.
speak now?
Gravity causes a force. Do not strawman
Okay,
me.
can I speak now?
Yes.
Okay, please listen to me. When we have Newton's first and second laws, it says that an acceleration is caused by a force. You're saying gravity is an acceleration. Therefore, according to Newton's laws, it must be caused by a force. But it's not caused by a force, is it? There is no force. So therefore,
an
you
emergent
cannot have
force.
acceleration.
It's an emergent. Right.
Okay.
You have an acceleration and you have mass. If you have those two things, you have a force. You cannot deny there is an acceleration. You cannot deny
I'm not
there is a
saying-
mass. You cannot deny there is a mass. Therefore, there is a force. And to actually quote Einstein here, Einstein specifically said you can have an acceleration with a force, and indeed gravity is one example.
Okay, so again, what I was trying to say is, like, for example, when you brought up centrifugal force, what is that caused by? It's caused by rotation, right?
Yes.
What causes the rotation? A
It's
force,
irrelevant.
right? No, it's a force. Does a force cause rotation?
What causes
yes or
the
no?
rotation is irrelevant to calculating centrifugal acceleration.
No,
and
it's
centrifugal
not, because
force.
the force is
Yes,
what
it absolutely
causes
is.
the
You do not need to know.
You're not letting me finish.
Well, don't be stupid. You do not need to know what
It's not being
causes
stupid,
a
you're just not letting me
rotation.
finish.
You do not need to know what causes a rotation to
Of
calculate
course you
centrifugal
do, because
Why?
one cause
Right,
can have
show
an
me.
effect, which then causes something else, which then
Okay,
causes
show
an
me
effect.
in the
Again,
calculations for centrifugal force. One sec. Show me in the calculations for centrifugal force where specifically you have to put what causes the rotation. Where is
first
that
of all,
in the
can you have
calculation?
Okay, first of all, can you have centrifugal force without a force, without rotation, without a force causing the rotation?
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. You're just ignoring the question.
No, it's completely irrelevant.
Saying it's irrelevant
Things rotate.
is-
Things rotate, right? And if something rotates,
Because of a
then,
force.
Yeah, but that is not involved in the calculations for centrifugal force. You
Well,
do not
without
need
the
to.
rotation, you would not
Wait,
get the
no,
centrifugal
unless you
force.
can show me in the calculations for centrifugal force, specifically where I have to include what causes the rotation, you are wrong. You cannot just
Okay,
make
show me
shit up.
centrifugal force without a force.
I didn't say you can have centrifugal force without a force.
Yes, because you cannot have something that accelerates without a force, which is what you're saying gravity is.
Yeah, but you have mass, you have acceleration, therefore you have force, an emergent force. This is why in physics it's referred to as a
See,
fictitious
this is where you're
force.
getting it mixed up.
No, I'm not
This is where
getting
you're
anything mixed up. I'm the one with the physics knowledge.
Can I just
You
finish
don't
what I'm
understand
saying?
what a force and acceleration is. If you have a mass
Again-
and you have acceleration, you have a force. You cannot.
And I'm not
take that away.
denying that.
Right, there you go.
I'm
then
saying,
that's
right,
the end of the
let me
discussion.
stop what I'm saying.
You-
Let me finish.
No,
No.
let me finish. Let me finish.
Go
When
on,
you are
then.
calculating centrifugal force, nowhere when you are doing those calculations is knowing what caused the rotation part of those calculations. You are simply making shit up.
Okay, so can I speak now?
Yes, you can carry on making shit
Okay.
up. It's lovely for
So
everyone to see.
again, there we go again, speaking over me. So again, I'm not saying that mass times acceleration doesn't equal a force. What I'm
Thank
saying
you.
is in order to get, yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is in order to get that mass times acceleration, so when you need the acceleration, in order to get that acceleration first, in order to do the mass times acceleration, you need the acceleration. The acceleration comes from a force. You do not have a force.
The acceleration is gravity, and
Yes,
that
which isn't
causes
a
a
force.
force.
It's
known
not a
as the
force,
force
though,
of
is it? So
gravity.
therefore you don't have the acceleration.
Well, you have a mass and
to begin
acceleration,
with.
therefore it is a force. Can you debunk
Okay.
F equals ma right now? Can you do that?
Can you have acceleration without a force?
That you have mass, you have acceleration, therefore you have force.
Can you have acceleration without a force? Yes or
You
no?
have, according to
Can
Einstein,
you have
yes.
acceleration without a
According
force?
to
Yes or no?
Einstein, yes, you can.
So he debunked Newton then, yes?
No, he didn't debunk Newton. He explained
Well,
why
Newton
Newton's...
says you need a force in
Yeah,
order to
but
cause
Einstein
acceleration.
explains why those things seem to be that way. That's what you guys fail to understand, is that Einstein never debunked Newton. He made things a lot more accurate and explained why Newton mathematically observed the things that he did. Like with gravity. Newton never had a theory of gravity. Newton never said what gravity was. Newton simply...
So again-
I'm talking. Newton simply...
Yeah, go on
Newton simply mathematically described what was happening. A mass accelerated, there is a force. And he could use this to demonstrate that you could make the calculations with pretty much anything that you can see. However, Einstein came along and explained that, well, actually there's a reason behind you being able to calculate that force. Also, when you do the maths, it turns out that it's limited by the speed of light. There's your extra dimension. So Einstein came along and made Newton's observations a lot more accurate. That's all it is. That's all Einstein ever did, was make things more accurate and explain the reasons behind them. But absolutely, according to Einstein, you can have an acceleration without a force, and gravity is indeed one of these cases.
Okay, so did Newton say that you can have an acceleration without a force, yes or no?
Newton didn't say either way. Newton simply mathematically described something.
What's Newton's first and second law of FTFE?
Newton's first and second law are irrelevant to what Einstein said. Newton's
they're
first and second
irrelevant
laws
to Einstein.
are
Why are they
mathematical
irrelevant?
observations, right? And I do want to call you out right now for the what's the fallacy called? The fallacy of false interpretation.
The fallacy of Newton, yeah?
No, not the fallacy of Newton. It's a
It
cherry
must be a
picking.
fallacy of Newton
It's
because
a-
you're
it's a-
denying Newton now.
I'm not denying Newton. You deny Newton all the time by saying gravity isn't
No,
real.
I'm sticking with Newton.
No. Newton specifically said that gravity exists. So what you are doing is
Newton
the
also said you
fallacy
need a
of
force
you are
to
doing
cause
is the
acceleration.
fallacy. Shut up. What you're doing is the fallacy of stolen concept, because one of Newton's laws was the law of gravitational attraction. That is a law, according to Newton. So, if you agree with Newton's first and second law, you also agree with Newton's law of gravitational attraction. Otherwise, you are committing the fallacy of stolen concept.
Sorry, there is no attraction, there is no force.
Oh, there
Remember
absolutely
Einstein?
is. That's been one person in the chat right now has absolutely demonstrated there is an attraction by building his own experiment.
Yeah, well, again, what I'm trying to get at is Newton's first and second law say that you cannot have acceleration without a force. In Einstein's general relativity, there is no force, therefore you cannot have an acceleration.
Einstein explained why that appears to be. He never disagreed with
Again,
the fact.
Newton's first and second law says that
but-
you cannot have an acceleration without a force.
Newton's
Gravity
first
is not
and
a
second
force,
law do
therefore
not
there
say
is no
that.
acceleration.
Newton's first and second law simply are mathematical observations of the universe around us. If you have a mass and acceleration, you have a force. If something is moving and there is no reason for it to stop, it won't stop moving. Einstein explains why these things are the way they are. Einstein explains that why there is an apparent force that you can absolutely calculate. Einstein gives the reasons behind the observations that Newton could make. Einstein never disagreed with Newton. He simply made everything that Newton said far more accurate. It's as simple as that. And again, you cannot cherry pick which one of Newton's laws you are going to agree with. It's the fallacy of stolen concept. If you agree with
I'm
one,
sorry, I'm not cherry
if you
picking
agree
which
with
one.
one, you agree with all of them.
And I'm not said I've not agreed with them. But
So
the
you
problem
agree
is
with
that
Newton's law of gravitational attraction then?
No, I'm on about
Well,
his
then you're
first,
cherry
second, and
picking.
third.
Then you are cherry
law.
picking. Then you are cherry picking. If you
I'm
agree,
sorry,
if you agree with Newton's first and second laws, you also agree with Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction. So if you do not do that, you are cherry
Newton's first
picking.
and second law is gravitational acceleration, yes? Is gravitational attraction, yes?
No,
Newton's
I
first and
said
second
that
law.
Newton's law of
That's what
gravitational.
you're saying right now, isn't it?
No, I'm saying that Newton's law of gravitational attraction is one of Newton's laws, and you cannot have
Which is
one
not
of
his first, second, and third law, right?
No, it's a different law. It's the law
And
of
I'm
universal
talking about his
gravitational
first
attraction,
and second law.
which were made by Newton, and Newton also came up with the law of universal gravitational attraction. If you agree with one of Newton's laws, you agree with all of them, or you are cherry picking. Do you agree with all of Newton's laws? Yes or no?
No.
Right,
You're
well
the one that's
then you
cherry-picking
are
because
cherry picking and
you-
committing the fallacy of stolen concept. You are choosing
No,
which
you're the one
bits
that's
of
doing
you
that.
are choosing which bits of Newton's maths you want to back up.
No, that's what you're doing.
No, I'm not, because I go with all of it, because it all works
Okay.
together, right? It all works
Let's
together.
break it down. Let's break it down.
Wait. Newton came up with all of the laws, and all of the laws work together. You either believe and you either agree with one and all of them, or you agree with none of them. What you are doing
Yes.
is cherry picking which one of Newton's laws you want to believe in so that it can back up your fucking nonsense. Whereas I follow all of Newton's laws and none of them contradict each other.
Okay, you follow all of Newton's laws. So what is
Yeah.
Newton's first and second law? That an acceleration is caused by a force. Sorry, Einstein said gravity is a
Newton's
force.
first law
Therefore,
is
you are
that an
cherry
acceleration
picking.
is caused by a force. Is that really what it is?
Yes, his first and second law says that in order to change direction, or in order to change speed, or in order to accelerate, in order
so
to move,
Newton's first
in order
law,
to stop, you need a force.
I'll tell you what, could you cite me, could you quote me specifically Newton's first law?
I just did.
No, you didn't. You just made up a straw man of the Newton's first law.
No, I didn't. Newton's first law tells you that if you basically without a force.
No, I don't want
nothing will
basically.
stop.
I don't want basically what it tells you. I want you to quote me Newton's first law.
And I'm trying to tell you, but again,
No.
you are
Specifically the
interrupting.
words that Newton used, not your interpretation, not what it says. What specifically is Newton's first law?
That if a body is not at rest or moving at a constant speed in a straight line, it will stay at rest or keep moving in a straight line at a constant speed unless acted upon by a force, which you
Correct.
don't have with Einstein. Correct,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep, Einstein gives you the acceleration. That's fine.
You just debunked yourself.
No, I really didn't. Einstein gives you the acceleration. Acceleration and mass equals force. And if you have a force, you can have something acted upon.
I'll repeat again.
I'm talking. If you have an acceleration and you have a mass, therefore you have a force. And according to Newton's first law states if a body is at rest or moving at a constant speed in a straight line, it will remain at rest or keep moving in a straight line at constant speed unless it is acted upon by a force. Mass times acceleration.
Again.
Mass times acceleration equals a force. There is your force
Yes.
acting upon it. Boom. Done.
No.
You not understanding
No.
that
No.
doesn't
No.
change things.
No.
Yes,
No.
yes,
No.
yes,
No.
yes, 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 yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Newton's
Yes.
first law
Newton's
says
first
that it will
law
move
says
at
yes.
a constant speed,
Uh-huh.
yes, unless
Yep.
acted upon by a force.
And how do you
Sorry,
get a force? You
gravity
have mass
isn't a
times
force.
acceleration. Force equals mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration equals a force. Therefore, you have a force that can act upon something moving in a straight line at a constant speed.
No.
Yes, 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 yes. Just because you're too fucking thick to understand doesn't change it.
Again, you're not understanding. Newton's law
Says the
it will-
Dunning-Kruger queen of the world
See,
who
you
doesn't
can't even
understand
let me finish.
that F equals ma.
Nobody's saying F doesn't equal ma. What
you
I'm
are.
saying
You
is,
are apparently. You're
no.
saying I don't have a force, even though I have a mass
You're
and
interrupting
acceleration.
me again.
You are saying
You can't
that
let me finish because you know you're wrong.
you are saying that F does not equal m times a because I have m
I've
and
already
a.
agreed F equals ma.
Well, there we go then. There's your force. No problem.
Yes. Problem is, Einstein
The
said
problem
there
is you don't
isn't a
understand.
force.
I know.
The problem is Einstein said there isn't a force, therefore you don't have a force.
Einstein said it's an acceleration, so it's fine. Acceleration
you can't have
causes a
acceleration
force.
without a force, according to Newton's first and second law. What don't you understand about that?
Can you specifically quote me where it says you can't have an acceleration without a force?
Yes, again, Newton's first law states that if a body is at rest or at moving at constant speed in a straight line, it will remain at rest or keep moving in a straight line at constant speed unless acted upon by a force.
So can you specifically quote me there where it says you can't have acceleration? Can you specifically quote me the words you can't have acceleration without a force in that?
Constant speed unless acted upon by a force. Constant speed unless acted upon by a force.
Once again, could you specifically quote me the words you cannot have acceleration without a force in Newton's first law? Do you have those words to hand that you could quote me or not?
Yes. Constant speed.
Oh, so not the words, not the words then. Lovely. So lovely.
Is constant speed an acceleration? Is constant speed an acceleration?
No, it's absolutely not. But does mass times
so
acceleration equal a force? Yeah, cool. So I've got a mass and acceleration, therefore I've got a force. No problem.
Yes, you have a force, but you don't have a force causing the acceleration to begin with. Mass times acceleration.
So circular reasoning. So what you're saying is that F equals ma brackets F.
What? No, what I'm saying
That's
is...
what you just described mathematically. What you just described mathematically was F equals ma brackets F.
How did you get the A without a force?
Because you had a mass. Mass times acceleration.
Oh, so mass causes acceleration now, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Mass causes acceleration, 100%.
So mass causes acceleration, so you don't need a force. It's just mass that causes acceleration. Welcome to relative density disequilibrium.
The mass and the acceleration, what you times together, you get the force. F equals ma.
Again.
If you agree that F equals ma, then you agree that a force is causing the thing.
How did you get the A to begin with?
Because of gravity.
Where's the force for the A?
Gravity caused it.
So gravity's a force?
No, gravity is an acceleration.
So where's the A?
Gravity is an acceleration.
And you can't have acceleration without a force, according to Newton's first and second law. How many times do we have to
so
go through
you've
this?
got F equals ma. So you've got a mass and an acceleration, therefore you've got a force.
Again, where did the A come from without a force?
So again, what you are asking is F equals ma brackets F.
I'm asking, where did the A come from without a force?
Gravity, that's where it came from.
So gravity's a force?
No, gravity, as Einstein said.
So you can't have the A
as
without
Einstein
the force,
said,
then?
as Einstein said, when he is, redefining everything and making sure that the accuracy is there, you don't need a force to cause an acceleration. Gravity is one of these things.
So Newton's first and second law is wrong then, yeah?
No, because Newton doesn't say that you...
Newton's first and second law says that you need a force for acceleration.
No, it doesn't, actually. You just read it out
yes, it does.
A bunch of
times. Move at a constant speed, therefore not
again,
acceleration.
it doesn't say those words. It does not say the words that you were saying it does. It is not saying... No, it doesn't. It does not say the words that you're saying it is. However, the mechanisms behind gravity causes the acceleration, right? And then you have a mass and you have an acceleration, therefore you have a force. Einstein
so you have acceleration without a force.
Einstein explained why these things happen. Einstein explained why gravity can be calculated as a force.
So you have acceleration without a force, yes or no?
The acceleration of gravity is caused by the uneven distribution of mass.
Do you have acceleration
without
a force, yes or no?
According to Einstein, yes, you can.
So therefore he debunked Newton, yes?
No, he didn't, because Newton was working on a local level.
Well, Newton says that you need a
but
force
what,
in order
Rachie,
to cause
what you don't understand,
acceleration.
well, what is everything, but the main thing you don't understand is that Newton worked on a very local level. Einstein explains it on a much more intricate, detailed, accurate level. I'm still talking. Shut your fucking cake hole. Thank you. Right? Newton worked on a very local level. Einstein works at a much deeper level, explaining why these things happen. Einstein explained why there is an apparent force due to gravity, because of the uneven distribution of mass, warping space-time, changing a straight line path, and causing an apparent acceleration. Therefore, you have an acceleration and a mass. That is your force. You not understanding the intricacies. I'm still fucking talking. Shut your mouth.
Then, yeah?
I'm still talking.
Yeah, because you don't like being wrong,
I'm still talking. Right? You not understanding the nuances between Einsteinian and Newtonian gravity doesn't change the fact that they do not disagree with each other.
Again, okay. Can you have acceleration without a force, yes or no?
According to Einstein, when you're talking about gravity and mass, yes, you can.
So
But
therefore,
when you're
Einstein
talking about
Newton, yes?
Newtonian physics on a local level,
No.
you cannot.
You can't
They are
switch
different.
between the two. It's one or
Yes,
the
you
other.
can. Yes, you
Pick it.
can, because
Pick
one
it.
is a much more detailed,
What's
deep
reality?
level than the
What's
other.
reality?
What's
Which one's
reality?
reality?
That's irrelevant to
Which
the
one is
conversation.
reality? Is Newton no,
They're both reality.
Reality is irrelevant to the conversation.
They're both reality.
Reality is irrelevant to the conversation, guys. Did you hear that?
They're both reality.
Okay, so again, can you have acceleration without force, yes or no?
According to Einstein, when you're talking about general relativity, yes, you can.
So therefore, he debunked Newton.
No, he didn't. He explained why.
How not?
He explained why F equals ma.
Yeah, you're back again.
He explained why F equals ma.
So again, can you have accelerated force, yes or no? According to Einstein, yes. So therefore,
Okay,
he debunked
we've
Newton,
gone
yes?
over this many times.
Yes, we have. but
When
you're still not
you are
understanding,
talking
are
about
you?
general relativity and Einstein's calculations to explain what is going on, the acceleration is not caused by a force, it's caused by the warping of space-time. But we know that
So
in
therefore,
Newtonian
he's
physics...
the-
No, but I'm still talking. We know that in Newtonian physics, F equals ma, and that is what we need to use on a local, everyday level. That's
Which
it.
Einstein
Gravity...
debunked.
No, Einstein did not debunk because you still
Obviously,
use
he
it.
did.
No, he didn't. And the main reason that he didn't is because you can break down Newton's law of gravitational attraction. You can literally derive it from Einstein's field equations. So they actually describe the same thing, but on different levels, very different levels. Newton is a local level. Einstein is a much wider, much more accurate level that also incorporates the speed of light into the calculations. And explains that the acceleration due to gravity is because space-time is being warped by mass. But then that's not Newtonian physics. That is the intricacies, the detailed explanations behind the mechanism of what is happening. Newtonian physics still works perfectly with F equal ma. But we also know that Einstein was right when you get down to the more accurate levels of trying to describe why those things are happening. That's what you don't understand, that there is a nuance between the two.
What don't you understand? Newton
I
said, in order
understand
to have
it all
an-
perfectly.
let me finish. What don't you understand? Newton says, in order to have acceleration, you need a force. Einstein
didn't.
says, oh, look, there's acceleration, but there's no force.
He explained why that's happening.
Oh, so he didn't say there was acceleration. Okay, then.
Newton simply described things, right? Newton described that, well, it appears that when you have a mass and an acceleration, you have a force. It appears that if something is traveling in a straight line path, according to the calculations that we're doing, you need a force to change that straight line path. That's what he described. It's simply everything. All of Newton's laws are simply observations. Einstein explained why you get those observations. And understanding what gravity is and why that causes an acceleration the way it does is a very deep understanding of that explanation. But he never disagreed with Newton. He explained why Newton's observations happened the way they did. Newton simply observed, well, that thing is moving, and the only way that it would stop moving is if there's a force of some kind applied. And that makes sense on a Newtonian level, but Einstein is deeper, and it gives you the reasons behind why those things happen. And gravity isn't Newtonian physics when you're talking about general relativity.
Let's put it this
it's
way
simple
for
as
you.
that.
Let's put it this way for you. Let's pretend I'm Newton and Gleam is Einstein, yes? So
I mean, that's a
say
fucking
you need-
ridiculous thing to think.
It's just a
let's
thing
go
at the
with
moment. You
your
haven't let me
Lloyd.
finish again, have you?
Wait, well,
You haven't let me
I
finish
can't,
again,
I
have you?
literally can't
Let me
think of...
finish and you'll
I
understand the
literally
point,
can't
but you're not
agree
letting
with
me
something
finish.
so stupid. I
No,
literally can't
I'm
agree
not
with
asking
something
you
so
to
stupid.
agree. I'm waiting to make my point, but you're interrupting. So what I'm saying is, imagine I'm Newton,
I can't,
imagine
I
Gleam
can't.
is Einstein.
I can't.
No, just for a second. Oh, you
I
can
can't.
imagine Bendy's
I
paper.
physically
You can't imagine
can't.
that. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I'm Newton. I say that in order to have an acceleration, you need a force. Gleam comes along and says, actually, nah, you don't need a force for an acceleration. Did Gleam debunk me, yes or no?
No, because that's
Oh,
not
no,
what
so
that's
I'm
not
saying
what
you
that's
need an-
not how it worked. Right? You are making, you are
Yes, it is.
strawmanning what happened.
No,
right?
I'm not. You're
Yes,
just
you are. You are.
cherry
Einstein
picking,
didn't come
you're
along and just go,
cherry
no,
picking.
you're wrong. You don't need that. Einstein explained why there's an acceleration for gravity. That's all, right?
Without a force, which,
No.
which Newton says you need a force.
He simply described mathematically an observation that we see in our everyday world. That's all. Right?
Okay, so is a constant speed an acceleration?
Again, Newton's laws are correct.
Is constant speed an acceleration?
I've already answered the questions, Rachie, and we are going round and round in circles.
No, exactly.
We are going round and round in circles, right? I'm going to explain
because
it to you.
you can't be honest.
I'm being honest, and you need to listen and understand, okay? Newton's laws hold up perfectly in a Newtonian world. When we are using Newtonian physics to calculate all the things around us, it's absolutely fine. But Einstein explains why these things happen on a much deeper level. And gravity is something very specific. It's a very specific part of physics that Einstein explained using his calculations of general relativity as a distortion in space-time that causes the acceleration. And then we know, because Newton said that F equals ma, you get the acceleration and the mass, that causes a force. It doesn't matter where that initial acceleration came from to be able to do the calculation. It doesn't matter where that initial acceleration came from to get the F equals ma.
When Newton told you need a force in order for the acceleration.
I'm still talking. It does not matter where that initial acceleration came from. The equation is not F equals ma brackets F. It's F equals ma. And in the Newtonian world, that works perfectly. You have an acceleration, you have a mass, that equals a force. Where the acceleration came from does not matter and does not come into the calculations that Newton did, and also does not come into Newton's first law. Einstein explained why. I'm still talking. Einstein explained why these things happened, specifically why an acceleration due to gravity happens. It's simple. You not understanding it is a you problem.
Did Newton say that you needed a force for acceleration? Yes,
We've gone round and round this.
Yes or no?
We've gone round and round this. I'm not answering the question again. I'm not answering the question again, Rachie. Stop being so fucking stupid.
For you. I'll answer for you. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Therefore, so Newton didn't say you needed a force for acceleration.
No, he doesn't say those words. No.
No. So his first law, which says that an object will move at a constant speed.
All right. We're going round and round in circles. The acceleration due to gravity does not require a force. The acceleration due to gravity does not require a force. On a local level, for everyday physics, F equals ma holds up perfectly fine. It does not matter where that initial A comes from. Einstein explains where. Einstein explains where that A comes from. Einstein explained that actually on not all occasions is Newton 100% correct. For the 99 point. Wait. Do not talk. All right. If you ever talk to me once more, I will mute you. Right. There's your warning. So shut the fuck up unless I say you can talk. Okay. Your ignorance is extremely frustrating. Okay. So if you have F equals ma, you have mass and acceleration. That creates a force. Einstein explained simply where that A comes from. Einstein explained that not on all occasions do you need a force to cause an acceleration. For 99.99999999999% of the time, you can see where that force comes from, okay? But that's because Newton is perfectly fine for a local level. To be more accurate, you need to use Einstein. It explains why the things happened. Newton is still correct. For everyday engineering, for everyday physics, it works perfectly. But that's because everyday engineering and physics is a local, earthbound level where the F equals ma holds up perfectly. We don't need to know where the A comes from. We just don't need to know. It doesn't matter when we're doing Newtonian physics. We don't need to know that the gravity is the warping of space-time causing an acceleration. We do not need to know that. Newton simply made observations. Einstein explained why these observations were possible to be made. They didn't debunk him. He explained why it happens and how it wasn't accurate 100%. Just being not as accurate isn't being wrong.
Okay, am I allowed to speak now?
Yes, as long as you understand that being less accurate isn't being wrong. You understand that, right? Yes, you understand that?
I understand that Newton said he...
No. Right. Do you understand that being less accurate isn't being wrong? Yes or no?
No, because therefore if something is more accurate, therefore that is more correct than something that is less accurate. Would you agree or disagree?
I asked the yes or no question first. So if something is
So
less
you
accurate,
can't agree or disagree.
if something is less accurate than something else, is it wrong? So if I was to say the temperature is 14.1 degrees centigrade, am I wrong if it's actually 14.14?
Yes. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. No, we're working on that. So you're saying that if I said the temperature is 14.1 and it's 14.14, you're saying that I'm wrong because I've only said I'm 14.1.
Technically, yes, as the one is more accurate. Again, if I have two models and one is more accurate than the other, then which one would you go with? The less accurate or the more accurate? Which one's wrong and which one's right? Is the less accurate one more right?
It depends what you were doing.
The more accurate one is?
It honestly depends what you need the model for. Because a lot of the times you can use an extremely simple model to get the things that you need. And in simple models, and for modeling purposes in general, you get rid of complicated variables that aren't necessary to take into account. So, for you to say that, if I say that pi is 3.14127, but it's actually, an infinite, are you saying it's never correct to use a pi calculation because pi is an infinite, thing and we can't ever get to the end of it? Is that what you're saying? Because we can't ever be accurate enough with pi, we can't ever use pi in our calculations?
No, what I'm saying is if you have one thing which is more accurate than another, then obviously you're going to go with the more accurate one. And
no, but that wasn't what I said. I said, does it make the less accurate thing? I said, well, it's because you're strawmanning me. I said, does it make the less accurate thing wrong?
Yes, if you're more accurate, yes. If you were more accurate than me...
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
It doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it less accurate.
Let's put it in terms that you can understand. If you're more accurate than me, did you disprove me?
No, I was just more accurate than you.
No, so if we did an experiment, for example, and I came up with an answer and you came up with an answer and your answer was closer to reality than what mine is, did you debunk me, yes or no?
No, I was just more accurate than you.
Okay, so we can just use mine even though that yours works more better. You didn't debunk me, yours wasn't better, mine's just as good,
Better.
yes?
It depends on the circumstances. If you did the experiment and you came up with an answer to 3 decimal places, but I came up with an answer to 6 decimal places, but for the purposes of what we need, 3 decimal places is fine, then the 3 decimal places is fine. It doesn't mean that because I got it to 6 decimal places that you're wrong. It just means I'm more accurate than you. Maybe for certain things, being 3 decimal places won't be sufficient enough and you need to be more accurate. It doesn't mean that the 3 decimal places is wrong. It just means it's less accurate.
So if you came up with a more accurate model of the world than me, then that means that I'm still right, yes?
No, it doesn't mean...
No, exactly.
If I came up with a more accurate model of the world than you... but yours was still accurate in the things it was describing, then no, you wouldn't be wrong.
Well, mine can't be accurate if yours is more accurate, right?
Well, yours can still be accurate to a certain degree. Mine is just more accurate. Do you know what accurate... Wait. Do you know what accurate means? More accurate? Do you know what accurate means?
Yes. Of course.
Then you do understand you can have different levels of accuracy, right?
Of course, and wouldn't you want to go with the more accurate one?
It doesn't mean that the less accurate thing is wrong. It just means it's less accurate.
Which means compared to the one that's more accurate, it's wrong.
Especially when you're on a better... It just means it's less accurate, not wrong.
Well, especially when you're saying you need this thing to cause this thing, and then somebody comes along and says, you don't need that thing to cause this thing. It can happen anyway, therefore they're wrong.
No, it's more accurate. It's simple as that. Einstein explained things more accurately, right? Gravity specifically is caused by a particular thing that results in an acceleration. And you know what? When you actually get down to the quantum fluctuations and stuff behind it, there is actually forces that you can calculate. Because Einstein isn't the most accurate that we've got. We've actually got more accurate descriptions of gravity, which describe things in more force accurate ways, and actually take a lot of Einstein's calculations and explain them using forces and pressures that are involved. Einstein just didn't need that for his calculations because his was accurate enough for that point. But there is more accurate calculations involving, quantum mechanics and stuff that actually can have forces applied to it. Again, it doesn't it doesn't mean that Einstein was wrong. It just means that we've now found a more accurate way of describing things.
Again, you're getting away from the point and deflecting. Do you need
No, I'm
acceleration?
not. I'm really not.
Do you need a force for acceleration, yes or no? Newton says you do, Einstein says you don't. Which one is it? Is Newton right or is Einstein right?
Einstein is just more accurate in certain
So
circumstances.
Einstein is right and Newton's wrong?
No, Einstein is simply more accurate in certain circumstances, that's all.
Again, you either need a force for acceleration or you don't. Which one is it?
No, you don't. It's not an
Which
if
one is
or
it?
it's,
You
it's
do
not
need a force or you
it's not
don't?
an if or thing. You are putting demands on something that don't exist. That is your straw man.
No, that's Newton's laws. Newton's law says that you need a force.
Newton's law also says that gravity's a thing, so
Newton's law says that you need a force. And he
Newton's
doesn't say
law also says that gravity's a thing, right?
He actually says he'll leave it up to the readers, and he didn't want it being inherent and essential to mass ascribed to him.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, but he still said that gravity was a thing because he calculated the force for it.
He said that there was something that makes an object fall, but he didn't say what it was. All he says that was you needed
He
a
called
force
it gravity.
for acceleration.
He called it gravity.
Again, which is the effect, not the force.
That's really
Again, he said you needed a force for acceleration.
a force can cause an effect, and an effect can cause a force. But you know
Yes,
that
exactly,
Newton said
which
that
is why I
gravity
said-
is real. Newton said that gravity is real, right? He said that gravity is a thing.
He said he'd leave it up to his readers what it was.
No, he said that it's a thing. He had a law of gravity, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cool. So if you
Yes.
agree with what I'm going to do here is pin you to you are either committing the fallacy of stolen concept or you agree with all of Newton's laws, all of them, not just one or two, all of them, including the law of universal gravitational attraction. So are you committing the fallacy of stolen concept?
Okay, you've asked me that question, but I can answer you that question back. If you want to,
are you, yes or no, committing the fallacy of stolen concept?
No, I'm saying Newton's first law says you need a force. You're saying it doesn't. Therefore, you are disagreeing with Newton's first law.
So, are you, yes or no, committing the fallacy of stolen concept?
No.
Right.
What is
Okay.
the
So you
fallacy of
agree
stolen
that gravity
concept
is a
to me?
thing, and there is an attraction between all mass.
What is the fallacy of stolen concept? I'm not sure of that. What is that?
I've talked you through it a couple of times. Let's take Newton, for instance, who has his first and second and third laws, and also his laws about refraction and his laws about gravity and etc. So if you are to say, well, I agree with Newton's first and second law, but I don't agree with Newton's law of gravitational attraction, you are committing the fallacy of stolen concept, because Newton agreed with them all. Newton agreed that gravity was a thing. He said that gravity was a thing. He came up with the universal law of gravitational attraction. So unless you agree that gravity causes an attraction between all mass that we can measure, you are committing the fallacy of stolen concept by bringing up Newton's first and second laws.
Okay, back at you. Do you agree with Newton's first and second laws, yes or no?
Yes, I do. I agree with all of Newton's laws.
So therefore, Newton's first and second laws say you need a force. So therefore, you agree with that. Therefore, you disagree with Einstein.
No, I agree that Einstein more accurately described what was
So
happening.
therefore, you
For
are
Newtonian-
making the fallacy of stolen concept as what you just
No,
said.
I'm not at all, because I agree with Newton's laws. In a Newtonian world with Newtonian physics, it's absolutely fine. But
I'm
Einstein,
sorry, it's not a Newtonian
I
world
know
or an
you're sorry, and I
Einsteinian
bet your
world,
parents are as
reality.
well. But Einstein just simply explained why things happen. You can agree with both Newton and Einstein, because Einstein is the why, whereas Einstein is the why behind the what. It's as simple as that. Newton described what happened. Einstein described why that happened. But there's even more accurate things now, so it doesn't matter.
Is it a Newtonian world or is it an Einsteinian world?
Depends on what level we need to work at. For every
Depends. No, reality is reality. What is it? Is it Newtonian or is it Einsteinian? What is reality? Einsteinian or Newtonian?
Depends how accurate you want to be.
Pick one.
Depends how accurate you want to be. I don't need to pick one.
Pick one.
I don't need to pick one. I don't need to pick one. It depends how accurate I want to be.
So how accurate do you want to be, FTFE? Do you want to be accurate or less accurate?
For everyday engineering and physics, Newtonian levels of accuracy is absolutely fine.
Do you want to be more accurate or do you want to be less accurate?
For everyday engineering and physics, I do not need to be as accurate as Einstein requires. It is extraneous.
You want to be more accurate in reality,
again,
or do you want to be less accurate?
Listen. For everyday engineering and physics and life as we know it, being as accurate as Newton described was absolutely fine. We do not need to work in the realms of general relativity and traveling at the speed of light. We do not need to take the complicated maths that Einstein has and insert it into everyday physics and make it more complicated, because for everyday usage, the accuracy of Newton is absolutely fine. However, if I decided to build a warp drive to travel faster than light, then you believe I will be fucking using Einstein.
FTFE, I care about reality. So is it Newtonian or is it Einsteinian? What is reality? Is it
Depends
Newtonian
on how
or
accurate you want to be.
No. What is
Yes.
reality? Einsteinian or Newtonian?
Depends how accurate you want to be.
I want to be accurate as in reality. What is reality?
So
Einsteinian or Newtonian?
you are now making the fallacy appeal to motive.
Oh, fallacy, yes.
Yeah, you are. You cannot force a choice on me which I do not need to make.
I just care about reality. Do you care about reality?
Yeah, and for everyday engineering, the reality of Newtonian physics is perfectly fine. However, I am not building warp drives or faster than light travel. I am not doing anything. I am not doing anything that requires the calculations behind general and special relativity. The everyday engineering and physics means Newtonian levels of accuracy are absolutely fine. But like I said, if I want to figure out how to travel faster than the speed of light or do anything involving that, then I will need to use Einstein's more accurate descriptions. It's as simple as that. Like if I'm baking a cake, right, and the cake says that I need 75 grams of flour, right, but I put in 75.4 grams of flour, then that's going to be fine. It doesn't matter that I wasn't quite as accurate. It doesn't matter, right? But if I was, performing some kind of chemical reaction and I needed, 1 microgram of a particular chemical to be mixed with another one, then I would need to be more accurate. It depends on what I'm doing for the level of accuracy that I need.
Again, I don't care about what you
I know you don't care. I know.
Yeah, I don't care about what you choose. I care about reality. So which one describes reality more, Einsteinian or Newtonian?
They both describe reality, but one more accurately.
Yeah, so which one describes reality more accurately?
Einsteinian physics describes things much more accurately, but on a level we do not need to take into account in everyday engineering and physics.
See, this is the thing. You keep going on about the level. I care about reality.
Yeah, well, the fact that you don't care about the level is the problem, because that's a big thing in the world. In everyday engineering and physics, we do not need to take Einstein's tensor equations into account. We do not need to understand. Right, we do not need to build a bridge. We do not need to understand Einstein's calculations behind the speed of light. To be able to make a car, we do not need to understand Einstein's description of gravity. They are irrelevant and far more complicated than we need to take into account to be able to do what we need to do at a particular level.
Okay, so on the level, quantum mechanics debunks Einstein. Now pick which one you choose.
It doesn't debunk it, it describes it more accurately.
No, it debunks it. Einstein's general relativity does not agree with quantum mechanics. They are in conflict.
There's a lot of things that
aren't.
There's a lot of things that aren't quite explained yet, but quantum mechanics just explains things a lot more accurately. But here's the thing: no one understands. Here's the thing: no one understands quantum mechanics. Don't pretend that you do.
Nobody understands quantum mechanics. Wow.
Nobody understands quantum mechanics. Richard Feynman literally said that, no one, and if you say you understand quantum mechanics, you're lying, because no one understands quantum mechanics. But it doesn't debunk Einstein.
They also said that about relativity, so then nobody understands relativity either. Then.
There is things that quantum mechanics can explain that Einstein can't explain. But that's because on the levels of quantum mechanics, it's a lot more accurate. So it can give us more of an explanation. It doesn't debunk Einstein. In fact, a lot of the stuff is more and more demonstrating that Einstein...
It does actually, as quantum mechanics tells you that you can travel back in time, whereas Einsteinian doesn't.
No, actually, that's incorrect. According to Einstein's equations, time travel could be...
Quantum mechanics say that you can travel back in time, that you can send a particle back in time.
Einstein's calculations actually say that time travel would be possible as well.
How? Explain how.
You can use the calculations.
I know how. Do you?
Yeah, you can use the calculations for an Einstein-Rosen bridge, which is a a perfectly acceptable endpoint for Einstein's calculations, right? An Einstein-Rosen bridge is a wormhole. So a wormhole can connect 2 points in space and time. So let's say, for instance, using Einstein's calculations, we had this wormhole created, an Einstein-Rosen bridge, right? And we had the entry to the wormhole at one point and the exit to the wormhole at another point. We take that entry to the wormhole and we accelerate it near the speed of light, thus changing the time that it is in. So that wormhole will now connect 2 points in space and time, allowing forward and backwards travel. And that is a perfectly acceptable outcome to Einsteinian mathematics.
Yeah, well, show evidence of that. You got any evidence of that? Didn't think so.
Of what? Of Einstein's maths, yes.
Of wormholes and travelling back in time. And actually, while I'm on the subject, what
you didn't ask me that.
Open?
You just asked me if the maths in that is possible, that's all.
No, I didn't. Did I say maths? Where did I say maths?
Well, you asked if it was possible, and according to Einstein's maths, yes, it is.
No, it's not. According to quantum mechanics, it is.
Yeah, but it's also a perfectly acceptable outcome to Einstein's maths that a wormhole.
No, it's not. General relativity tells you that you cannot travel back in time.
I just explained to you how, using Einstein's equations of an Einstein-Rosen bridge, you could have a stable wormhole connecting 2 points in space and time. That is within Einsteinian
prove a wormhole to me. Prove a wormhole. Show me evidence of a wormhole. Go ahead.
I didn't say I could. I just said that according to Einstein's mathematics.
So there's no evidence. So you're citing something that there's no evidence for whatsoever.
Well, you're saying that quantum mechanics. No, that's not the argument here. You're saying that quantum mechanics does it, but general relativity doesn't. Whereas Einstein's calculations specifically say that can happen. Yeah,
Einstein's calculations also say that gravity can be repulsive.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Go and ask Brian Greene. In fact, go on YouTube and search Brian Greene repulsive gravity, and you will find out that his calculations, his equations, actually say that gravity can be repulsive.
Maybe on a sub-molecular level in certain circumstances, but the only outcomes to Einstein's tensor equations is an attractive force. So,
No, his equations say that it can be repulsive. Go ahead and do
Einstein's
YouTube,
tensor equations do not. Einstein's tensor equations do not say that.
Again, YouTube Brian Greene repulsive gravity.
Yeah,
you will find
again,
out that
but Einstein's tensor equations don't say that.
Nobody really cares about equations, like Tesla says.
They absolutely do. Equations are
no, they don't, because like Tesla says,
equations are observations. Equations are observations.
You replace experiments with mathematics.
No, we don't. We do experiments.
Yeah, Tesla even said it himself.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you give me an example of quantum mechanics and time travel? Can you prove that to me?
I can't prove it, but what they say is that if you have a negative energy density, you can basically, a black hole will collapse into itself, and the only way to keep a black hole open is to have negative energy density.
So, can you show me that? Because you were demanding that I show you, wormholes and stuff, but you're the one that's just brought up that happening. So can you show me that?
I'm just telling you that quantum mechanics...
No, I'm holding you to the same standard you held me to there. You demanded that I show you a wormhole, so can you show me this happening? Otherwise, you're just talking nonsense.
Well, it's Michu Kachu. Do you not believe him now?
I don't believe anything. I'm just holding you to the standard that you held me to. You said, when I was talking about wormholes, blah, 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 can you prove to me a wormhole? But what about you talking about quantum fluctuations and black holes collapsing and stuff? Can you show me this happening?
Okay,
the thing that you're talking about? No, all right? So let's not talk about things outside of the realm of what we can actually see, and talk about experiments that we can demonstrate that things are real. We can demonstrate that gravity is real on different levels using many different experiments. We know that Newton had a law that said that gravity creates an attractive force, or that there is an attractive force that he referred to as gravity. So Newton's laws say that, so we know it's true, right?
Newton's laws also say that you can't have acceleration without a force.
Newton's law,
no, that's true, right?
Did Newton's laws say that gravity creates an attractive force between all mass? Yes or no?
It says you can't have acceleration without a force.
Did Newton's laws say that gravity creates an attractive force between all mass? Yes or no?
He didn't know what gravity was, and he left it up to the reader, so therefore
Did Newton's laws... Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared, that particular law, does that law say
Why do you want to go with that law and ignore all his other laws?
I'm not ignoring all his other laws. I am talking about.
I
am taking all his laws into account. But that particular law we are talking
but
right
you're
now.
ignoring his first and second law where it
that
says
particular
that you
law.
need a force in order to
No,
cause
we're not. But
acceleration,
that
yeah?
particular law we are talking about right now, one of Newton's laws, does it say that mass has an attraction between all mass? Yes or no?
No.
So you're saying that Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction does not say that there is an attraction between all mass?
No, it's an equation. It doesn't say that there is an attraction.
That equation
at all,
specifically says that.
No, it doesn't. It says that it's an equation. It doesn't say anything basically other than the variables in the equation.
It's an observation, and it's one of Newton's laws. Wait. So does Newton's first law say anything?
Right. So you were saying more mass goes down and less mass goes up?
No. Nice straw man.
Oh, why not? What happened to mass attracts mass?
Up and down is relative, but nice straw man there. So
It's not a straw
does
man, you
Newton's
just can't
law,
answer the question
right,
without
I'm going to
being
ask
a
this
straw
question
man.
again. Does Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction give the mathematical explanation of mass attracting mass? Yes or no?
No.
Then you don't know what Newton's law says, do you? Because that's specifically what it says.
Oh, where did he say? Go on, show me. Where does
Fg
it say
equals
that?
gm1 m2 over r squared.
And how does that say that's attraction?
Because that's what it describes.
How? Go ahead and explain it. How that tells me that describes it. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. It's literally what the equation is describing. So, you have, let me make this big so I can, I can't believe that you are choosing to die on this hill of Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction doesn't say that there's an attraction.
I can't believe you're ignoring his first and second law, but hey,
I'm not. It's actually very much included in this. Being more accurate doesn't mean something's wrong, as we went over. But, right, so, Newton's law of universal gravitational attraction. The force of gravity equals, Fg equals, right, sorry, wrong G there. Right, the force of gravity equals universal gravitational constant times the mass of one object times the mass of the second object over r squared. Now this equation specifically describes an attraction between those two masses. That is literally what this equation is. Oh, M1 and M2 are being attracted. If you, that's what the force is. The force is describing.
Yeah, where's the attraction? Show me the attraction. Where is it?
The Fg. That's what this is.
The Fg is the attraction, yeah?
Yes, the force of gravity. It's in the traction. Right? That's
Sorry,
specifically
gravity's
what
not a
this
force.
says.
Remember Einstein?
In Newtonian world, it's fine. It's
I'm sorry, we
gravity
don't care
creates a
about
force.
Newtonian
Gravity
or
creates a
Einsteinian
force.
or ancient
Gravity creates a
civilizations
force,
or
and this is
anything
the
else.
force. Listen, gravity creates a force, and this is the force created due to gravity. That's what this is.
Sorry,
all right?
no force. No force of gravity, because gravity is
force
not caused by a force.
created due to gravity. This is the force created due to gravity.
You can't have acceleration without a force. Newton's
The force created due to gravity.
Deny them.
Are you denying Newton's law right here? Are you denying this law?
No, you're denying Newton's first and
Are you
second
denying
law.
this? Are you denying this law? Are you denying Newton's
You're
law?
denying his first and
No, I'm not.
second
I'm not
law.
denying anything. Are you denying
Yes,
that?
you
Are you
are.
denying Newton's law right here? Are you denying that this law?
No, you're
Well,
denying Newton's first and second law.
if you aren't denying this law, then you understand that there is a force of attraction between all mass.
Does that say that mass goes up?
No, it says mass is attracted to
No,
mass.
it doesn't. Okay, so it says that what? Does it say more mass goes down and less mass goes up?
No, it says mass is attracted to mass. It doesn't give a direction.
It doesn't give a direction. Thank you
No.
very much. No direction for gravity. Thank you.
Because up and down is relative. It simply says towards the masses. The attraction
Up and down
is
is
between
relative. Correct. Relative to
the
the human.
attraction is between these things, and the attraction does not only exist up and down. The attraction exists left and right as well. Relative density disequilibrium cannot explain that.
Relative density disequilibrium explains a lot more than your non-force
No, it
gravity.
does not. Relative density disequilibrium does not explain why this attraction can exist in any direction.
There is no attraction. What don't you understand?
According to Newton, there is. Literally, according to
No,
Newton,
there's
there is
not.
an attraction.
Yeah, well, he also said it was a force, which Einstein said it's not. So, do you want to
He
believe him, or do you not? Or do you want to believe Einstein? Which
He didn't
one?
say it was a force. He simply observed a force.
He said it was a force of gravity.
No, he simply observed something and wrote it down. He simply observed something and wrote it down.
So he didn't say gravity was
Shut
a
the fuck
force.
up, I'm talking. He never said what gravity was. He never had a theory for it. He simply described a force of gravity, which we now know is a force created by gravity.
Which Einstein said there isn't a force of gravity. So
yeah, again, it doesn't mean that the force is gravity, the force of gravity, the force created by gravity. Stop strawmanning. Stop! Fucking shut up! Shut up when I am talking. Alright? Newton's law, right here. You either deny it, which means that you are cherry picking, or you accept it, which means you accept there is an attraction between all mass. Which one is it?
And I could ask you the same question.
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm not denying anything.
Yes, you're asking me, but you refuse to answer yourself.
No, I accept all of Newton's laws on a Newtonian physics level for the accuracy they're required.
No, we care about reality, not all they told you.
Reality is fine. There is different levels of accuracy that we need. And for the accuracy that we need, Newton's laws hold perfectly fine. Now, do you accept Newton's laws, yes or no?
Newton's law says you need an acceleration.
Do you accept all of Newton's laws? Do you accept all of Newton's laws, yes or no?
No.
Right, well, you're a cherry-picking piece of shit then. You're a liar. You are literally, cherry-picking is lying, therefore you are a liar. You just admitted to everybody here that you, Rachie, are a liar. You literally just admitted to it because cherry-picking is lying.
Some of his laws, but not all of his laws.
Yes, that is cherry-picking. That is cherry-picking, and it makes you a liar. You are a liar. A liar. A liar. You are a liar. No, I accept all of the Newton's laws.
So then you accept that in order to have an acceleration, you need a force then, yes?
On a Newtonian level, yes.
In order to have an acceleration, you need a force, yes or no? Not Newtonian.
On a Newtonian level, yes. On a Newtonian level. On a Newtonian level, yes. On a Newtonian level, yes. But when you get down to the more accurate levels, then that's not how it's described.
People are talking about reality.
Yeah, and there is different accuracy levels.
FTFE?
I'm not. I'm saying
that. You're a reality denier now?
No.
Yes, obviously you must be a reality denier.
No, shut the fuck up, you
reality
stupid.
Denier.
Honestly, shut up, you moron. All right? I am not denying reality, but there is different levels of accuracy. I said shut up. I am not denying reality. There is different levels of accuracy that you can work at. For the level of accuracy that Newton's laws work in, they hold perfectly fine 100%. However, Einstein is more accurate. It is as simple as that. You agree with Newton's laws, therefore you agree. Therefore,
acceleration.
Within Newtonian levels of accuracy, yes.
No, in reality.
Within Newtonian levels of accuracy, yes.
In reality, do you need a force for acceleration?
Within reality. In reality, for Newtonian levels of accuracy, yes.
In reality, yes or no?
In reality, for Newtonian levels of accuracy, yes.
No, in reality, yes or no? In life, in reality,
I am not giving you a yes or no. I am not giving you a... What you are doing is cherry picking. What you are doing is cherry picking again.
You're cherry picking, yes,
shut up. Shut up.
Yes.
You are cherry picking by forcing me to give a yes or no answer and omit context.
Like you're doing to me?
Yeah, because I am not making you omit context. Shut up. Shut up when I'm talking. Shut up. Just shut up. You are cherry picking. I am not. I am asking you something within context. You are trying to make me give a yes or no answer that relies outside of context, which is another form of cherry picking. I am not going to give a yes or no answer. I am not going to give a yes or no answer that omits context. Just going, it's reality, makes you sound like a fucking retard. The fact that you don't understand that there is different levels of accuracy within reality makes you as stupid as fucking Sleeping Warrior. No wonder that you have fucking bitten the fucking bullet of Sleeping Warrior and Nathan Oakley, because you are fucking stupid. You are so fucking stupid, all right? You fucking support somebody that is literally a child predator. How does that make you
Here
feel?
we go. Deflection.
How does that make you feel that your Papa Flerf
Here we go. Deflection and change the subject
not
because
deflection,
you're wrong,
not deflection.
because you
I haven't been
can't
wrong once,
answer
but I'm asking you a
reality.
serious question now. How does it make you feel that your Papa Flerf is a child predator?
How does it make you feel that you're deflecting away from
I'm not
whether
deflecting away from
Newtonian said you
anything. I've
needed a
answered
force
your
for
questions.
acceleration or not?
In Newtonian
No,
levels
you're
of accuracy,
not. You're
yes.
not answering. Again,
I've
in
answered.
reality.
I've answered. Just because you
In
don't.
reality,
In
nobody cares
reality,
about
there's
Einstein
different
or
levels of
Newton.
accuracy.
In reality.
In reality, there's different levels of accuracy. I have answered your question. You not accepting it just means you're fucking stupid. Now, my question to
Because
you
you're not
is,
answering in reality.
I answered it. I answered it.
No,
All right.
you're not.
I've answered the question. Now,
No, you haven't.
how does it make you feel that your Papa Flerf is a child predator?
Again, deflection.
No, it's
That's
a
all
different.
you've got.
No, we've done that. I've answered your question. Now I'm asking you a
Yeah,
question.
deflection.
No, I've
Deflection.
answered the
Wait, don't
question.
worry,
I'm
there's
not
nothing to do
deflecting.
with it.
I'm not
This is between
deflecting.
me and
I'm
you,
not deflecting.
Not him.
I'm not deflecting. I've answered. Yeah, but
Yes,
no,
you are.
it is between
Yes,
him
you
because
are.
Rachel, it is between him because all of
No,
your
it's
points
not
are just
between
him.
me and you. This
No,
is me and
no,
you.
No,
Stephen
no,
Warrior
no,
isn't
shut
here
up.
to
You know what? This is
defend
my
himself
show
or
and
say
I'll ask the
anything, so
fucking
don't bring him
questions.
into the
So you shut up and...
conversation.
No, he won't come because he's a
Yeah.
coward little bitch, all right? Now, I am asking you a
Oh,
question.
yeah, of course he
How
is.
does it
At
make
least
you
he can answer
feel?
questions.
How does it make you feel that your Papa Flerf is a child predator?
Again, it's deflection and it's nothing to do
No,
with the
I've
conversation
done.
of gravity.
I've done with
Easy.
your question. I've answered your question. Now I'm asking you a question.
No, you haven't.
I have. Just because you don't accept the answer doesn't
No, you
mean I haven't
haven't.
answered it, all right? How does it make you feel that the man you idolize is a child predator?
Nobody said I idolise anybody, but
Yes,
why
you
the go
fucking do
strawman?
idolize him. You
Oh,
hang on his
yeah.
every word. Honestly.
No.
Your hero is a child predator. How does that make
Why
you
the go
feel?
deflection? Why the
How
go
does it
bringing
make
up
you-
somebody who
why
ain't
can't you
even
answer the
here to
question?
defend themselves?
Oh, because
Why
he's too
the
much
go
of a coward to
deflecting?
talk to me. That's
Yeah,
why.
because you're deflecting. You're deflecting.
That, no,
'Cause you know you're wrong.
wait, he's a coward. No, I'm not wrong. I've answered the question.
Yes,
Just
you
because you
are.
don't accept the answer doesn't
You
mean I'm
can't
wrong.
answer it in reality. You keep
I
saying
cannot,
you're
right?
Newtonian, you're
Okay.
Einsteinian. Nobody cares about Newtonian
Yes,
or
they
Einsteinian.
do.
What
Yes, they
care
do
about
because that is reality. That
the world
actually,
that we live in.
actually, Newtonian and Einstein and the nuances between them is reality. That's been shown experimentally.
Which one is reality?
Both. They're just different levels of
Oh,
accuracy.
both are reality. So it's a force and not a force.
It depends on the accuracy level you need.
So acceleration has to be caused by a force according to Newton, and it doesn't have to be caused by
Depends
a force
on the level of
according to
accuracy you
Einstein.
need.
But they're both
Depends
reality,
on
yeah?
the
You
level.
don't see the
Listen to
contradiction
the
there,
fucking
yeah?
words coming out of my mouth, you fucking moron. Depends on the level of accuracy. That is your answer. Okay?
Again, I don't care about accuracy, I care about
I don't care if you don't
reality.
care. That is the answer. Both are reality.
So which one's more accurate?
Einstein.
Einstein. So Einstein debunked Newton then.
No, he's just more accurate. Why are you going around in circles?
He's more accurate.
Why? Have you got a
Okay.
fucking goldfish memory?
Okay, let's put it this way. Do you think
No,
that
I'll
Earth
tell you
is
what.
accurate?
Let's talk about the experiments behind it. All right. Just so you know, your Papa Flerf, the man you idolize, is a child predator.
Yeah, deflected to
no,
somebody
I'm
else who
not.
ain't
I'm
even
not
here.
deflecting. I'm just letting you know.
And you
you're
brought it up
obviously
again.
and you're obviously fine with that. You're obviously fine being part of a cult that preys on children. You're obviously fine with that. That's cool, right? But let's talk about the experiments that demonstrate that both Newton and Einstein are correct. Would you like to discuss them? Like the Cavendish experiment, the Scheherian experiment, the Pan-Repka experiment, the Eddington experiment of 1909, or the LIGO installations. All of these experiments demonstrate that both Newton and Einstein are correct. Just one is more accurate than the other. Both are reality. Just one is more accurate than the other.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that.
let's talk about the Cavendish experiments
Yeah.
to start with.
No,
right?
no.
Now
Let's talk about gravitational waves.
I'm talking. No, wait. I'm talking, and
Does
I've decided.
Newton predict
I'm
gravitational
talking.
waves, yes or
I'm
no?
talking, and we are
Yeah,
talking
hold on.
about the Cavendish experiment, right? So the Cavendish experiment is a perfect example that mass attracts mass, and that relative density disequilibrium is fucking nonsense because it's not going up and down.
Yeah,
there's
let's talk about
there's no
Cavendish.
density up or down in the Cavendish experiment. It is
Yeah, let's
doing
talk
a
about
left.
Cavendish.
It is doing a left to right attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Which shows that there is an attraction between all mass, and it is not just to do with relative density disequilibrium, because there is no density disequilibrium or no density change happening, and there is still an acceleration.
Okay, so let's
can you
talk about
debunk
Cavendish.
Cavendish?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
I know you're going to try it. It's going to be fucking hilarious. Actually, right, if you're going to debunk Cavendish, can someone let Tau Ceti Alpha know to hit record? This would be brilliant.
Yeah, sure. So,
right, first of all, describe the Cavendish experiment to me.
the Cavendish experiment is a parlor trick, but anyway.
No, describe it. Just describe it to me. What what
describe
is
it? It's a bloody Blue Marble Science has done it. I've watched it.
Yeah, okay, so you describe to me what the Cavendish experiment is. Come on. What is it? Should she just run away again?
You've totally broke up.
Right, you there? I can hear you now.
You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm here.
Right, so, the Cavendish experiment. Describe to me the experiment, how it happens.
Okay, well, Blue Marble Science has done it, and
he
showed basically that he's got two big massive balls, two big massive masses that are hanging on some wires, which inside there's two little masses, which then turn towards the big masses, correct?
No.
No, that's not correct. Okay, so the small masses don't go towards the big masses then, yeah?
I mean, just the whole description of it was wrong. Did I just hear Riley in the background there?
No, you didn't. That's my partner, not Riley.
Oh.
Why would you think that's Riley? Talk about paranoid.
It honestly sounded like him. But, right, so...
You sound like Riley, apparently. Apparently.
The masses do not hang on wires. They hang on a beam, which is self.
I'm on about the big masses.
Yeah,
So they're not on wires?
No.
No, so they're not hanging down from wires. They're not hanging down from strings, wires, whatever you want to call them, no?
No, you've got...
so what are they hanging from, FTFE?
You've got a torsion bar, right? You've got a bar that is... Right, let me draw it for you because...
I don't need you to draw it. I've seen Blue Marble Science do it.
You clearly do because you don't know what
No, I've seen Blue Marble Science do it.
Right.
I don't need you to...
Well, I'm going to, right?
Okay, go ahead.
You've got... Right. So you've got a mass on either side of this torsion bar, which is being supported by a wire. Okay? Right? So, if you're looking down on it from above...
That's not Blue Marbles, no.
This is the Cavendish experiment, okay? So
that's not Blue Marble Science's Cavendish experiment.
It is. So, if you're looking down on
No, it's not. He has the two big balls hanging from wires.
I haven't got the big balls on there yet. So, if you... looking down on it from above, right, then you've got bigger masses that are either side, okay? Now what you do is you move these masses closer to that mass and you see if this bar moves, right? So if gravity's real, then this mass is going to move down towards here and that mass is going to move there and you're going to get that, right? And that's the Cavendish experiment.
Okay, now explain that using Einsteinian gravity.
Easy. The masses warp space-time enough to cause an acceleration towards the larger mass.
Okay, without saying warp space-time, explain Einsteinian gravity.
You can't say explain Einsteinian gravity without warping space-time because that is the fundamentals of Einsteinian gravity.
What causes things to accelerate in Einsteinian gravity?
The warping of space-time.
But what actually causes the acceleration, apparent acceleration?
The warping of space-time, I've just told you. So if you've got something that's on... Right, the way to explain this to you, I'm trying to imagine how to explain it to a 3-year-old, so just give me a second. Right, so...
yeah.
Imagine something just traveling, in space. There's no forces on it at all, right? And it's just traveling in a straight line, right? Now, imagine the space-time in front of where that thing's going warps to pull space towards a mass. So if this is the mass and this is the thing that's moving, right? This is warping space-time. So this thing that is moving in a straight line path will accelerate towards the mass because it's warped space-time to make a well around this. So it can't just go straight because it's being accelerated towards the mass. due to the space-time being warped. Imagine a big rubber sheet with a big ball in the middle, and you put something next to it. It's going to roll towards it. Now, imagine that you were far away from it and you rolled that thing in a straight line path. As it gets near the ball on the rubber sheet, it's going to change from its straight line path and accelerate towards the mass. That is what mass is doing to space-time, but in 3 dimensions instead of 2. So that is what is happening in the case of the Cavendish experiment. The larger masses are warping space-time enough that it is causing an acceleration for the littler masses to move towards it.
I think you mean 4D instead of 3D, not 3D instead of 2D.
Well, space is 3D.
But time added on is 4D. So
Yeah, correct.
again.
But I was talking about space, being 3D. Obviously, you've got the 3 dimensions of space and the 1 dimension of time. But I was trying to get you to imagine the 2-dimensional sheet in a 3-dimensional way, which is a hard thing to do.
I don't need to imagine a sheet. It's not a sheet. And that is the incorrect analogy to use. And actually,
it's really not. It's a pretty
yes,
good...
it is. I can actually show you videos where they say that's a stupid analogy, basically, to use.
It's a good enough analogy to use if you want to break it down really, really basically. It is missing out a lot, all right? It's not a complete description, but it's a very basic description on the level that I think you might be able to understand. Right? So,
sorry, gravity is not a force and mass doesn't attract mass.
Well, according to the Cavendish experiment, the mass does attract mass.
Yeah, well, the Cavendish experiment is a parlor trick.
Explain how it's a parlor trick.
Because mass doesn't attract mass. Gravity is not a force,
according to the Cavendish experiment, it does. And every single... well, you just saying it's a parlor trick doesn't matter because there are millions of people in the world that have physics degrees. And every single one of those people do the Cavendish experiment in the literal first month of their physics degree. So all these people are just learning to do parlor tricks, are they? Well, there are actual physicists out there who have tried to do the Cavendish experiment and then actually ended up destroying their own experiment because they got so angry and frustrated with it that it didn't work. Because it's quite a difficult experiment to get to work accurately, but it doesn't mean that it can't be done.
Okay, in the Cavendish experiment, do mass accelerate?
Yes.
Yes. So there's a change in velocity over time?
Yeah. That's exactly what it shows. Yeah. There's an acceleration of the smaller masses towards the larger masses. Again, it's a parlor trick. Again, there is no mass attracting mass. No, it's not a parlor trick. It actually happened. Rachie, the Nile is also a river in Egypt, all right? It's not a parlor trick just because you say it's a parlor trick. It is an experiment following... It's an experiment. You are in fucking denial because you're denying that an experiment demonstrates something. And you deny Newton's first and second law. No, I'm not. For the accurate, I'm not. We've gone through this. Stop strawmanning me. Stop strawmanning me. All right, stop strawmanning me. For Newtonian levels of accuracy, in Newton's first and second laws are fine. When you get down to Einsteinian levels of accuracy, it falls apart slightly. But that's fine because we live in a Newtonian world for everything that really matters. Oh, we live in a Newtonian world, so Einstein is wrong, so we don't need Einstein. No, not wrong, just much more accurate, but we don't need to take that into account. You not understanding is your fucking problem because you're a retard. So, I want you to explain to me how what happens with the Cavendish happens. Again, parlor trick. Google it. No, it's not a parlor trick. I've done it, and it worked. The blue. Show me you doing it. I don't have a video of it. But you can't now, can you? Oh, no, of course I don't have a video of it. I don't record everything I do in my life all the time. But you do it in your physics degree, but, like a lot of people do, right? So explain to me how it's a parlor trick. What happens? Because it is. Google it. Yeah, I've Googled it, and it doesn't say it's a parlor trick. It says it's an experiment. Yes, it is a parlor trick. Explain to me how it's a parlor trick. Because mass doesn't attract mass, there is no force of gravity. Einstein, 19. Do you want me to bring Blue Marble Science on? You can bring him on all you want, I don't care. Blue Marble Science, have I got you on Discord? Again, gravity is not a force. Einstein. There is no attraction between masses. Einstein. Again, different levels of accuracy, it's fine. Blue Marble Science,
No,
hit me up.
nobody cares.
Shut up, I'm talking
People
right
care
now.
about reality.
I'm asking you
Reality.
to... Please, yeah, reality is fine with different levels of accuracy.
Yeah.
Now, please be quiet while I talk to
Time you
someone for a
deny it,
second.
innit?
Please be quiet. Thank you very much. Blue Marble Science, contact me on something. Is it email, Discord, Facebook? What do I have you on? Must be email. Right, give me 1 second. I'm going to get a person that's done the Cavendish experiment in. And
It doesn't matter that he did it. Again, it's a parlor trick. Master
except it's not a parlor trick. It happens for real.
You can't have acceleration without a force. Newton's
You can,
first and
actually.
second
Einstein
law.
said you can.
Yeah, so you're denying Newton's first and second law then?
No, I'm not. It's just the different levels of accuracy. It's fine.
Yes, you are. Newton's first and
different
second
levels of
law
accuracy.
tells
No,
you-
different levels of accuracy. It's
You
absolutely
can say
fine.
no all you want. So Newton's
Yeah.
first and second law don't say that you need a force for acceleration.
Yeah, but it's on the Newtonian levels
Yes,
of accuracy.
exactly.
Einstein. Yeah, but when you look at more accuracy,
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly.
But when you look at more accuracy, it's fine. Yes.
No. Newton's first and second law says you need a force for acceleration. You don't
In a
have
Newtonian
force.
world, that's fine, but Einstein described things more
Not
accurately.
Newtonian world, in reality, in
Yep,
the
yep,
world.
in
Not
reality, that's
Newtonian
right,
world,
absolutely.
Not Ricci world, not FTFE world,
Absolutely.
not Einsteinian world, not Glober's world, not FTFE world, in reality, in the world.
Yeah, but that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
you
both
can't
are
pick and choose what world you want.
I can,
Reality
because
is
both are
reality.
accurate.
You
Depends
can
how
either
accurate I want
have
to
a
be.
force for
Depends how
acceleration,
accurate I want to
or
be.
you don't have a force for
Depends how
acceleration.
accurate I want to
Pick it.
be. You fucking moron.
No,
Stop saying the
it
same thing
depends on
over and yes.
reality.
Yes. Depends how accurate I want to be. Simple as that.
Yes, you are a moron.
Yes, you are correct. Now be quiet.
Yes, you are.
I said be quiet.
You're
I
denying
said be
Newton's
quiet.
first and second
I said be
law.
quiet.
You be quiet
Do
all
as
you
you're
want.
told and be quiet.
Do as I told. What am I
Yes.
told?
Yeah, you are a
No,
fucking
that's
child.
you.
Now be
You're
quiet.
denying Newton's first.
No, I'm
and
not.
second law.
Now be
Yes,
quiet.
you are.
I've
A
asked you to be
force
quiet.
needs
Can
an
you not just do as I've
acceleration
asked and be
needs a
quiet for a minute? Like a good little girl.
No, I can't when an acceleration needs a force.
Yeah, unless you get more accurate, it's fine.
No, an acceleration needs a force.
Unless you get more accurate, it's fine. You're also cherry picking
Acceleration needs a
again.
force.
You're also cherry picking
Acceleration
again.
needs a force.
Yeah, you're also
Newton,
cherry picking
acceleration
again.
needs a force.
You're committing the fallacy of
No,
stolen
I'm
concepts.
sticking
You're committing
to
the fallacy of
Newton's
stolen
laws.
concepts.
You're denying Newton's
You're committing
laws.
right. You are committing
You're
the
denying
fallacy of
Newton's
stolen
laws.
concept. No, I'm not. You
Why
are
are
committing-
there laws? Are there laws because they're laws, or the laws
Yeah,
because they're
like
not
the
laws?
law of gravity
Pick
that
up
describes
your
an
mind.
attraction between mass.
Pick-
Are you denying that?
You're denying Newton's first and second law.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm
Acceleration needs a force. Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Acceleration needs
I'm
a
not
force.
denying
Newton's
anything.
first and second law.
Yeah, unless you
Newton's
get more
first and
accurate.
second law.
Yeah, but unless you get more
No,
accurate.
Newton's first. No, Newton's first.
Unless you
and
get more
second law
accurate,
says-
unless you get more accurate, I can
So-
say it over
so
and over.
Newton's laws
I can say it
aren't
over and
accurate.
over. Unless you get more accurate, Newton's laws aren't as
So
accurate as
Newton's laws
Einstein.
aren't accurate.
They're not
So
as
Newton's laws aren't
they're
accurate.
not as accurate as Einstein.
So Newton's laws are BS.
They're not as accurate as Einstein. I didn't
So
say they were
Newton's
BS.
laws
That's a
are
straw
BS.
man.
No, it's not. You either agree
Yeah, it
with
is.
them or you don't.
No, you don't.
You either agree with them or you don't.
No,
You're cherry
no,
picking
it
right
depends
now.
on the
You
level of
either agree with them or
accuracy.
you don't.
It depends
No,
on the
no,
level
no,
of
no,
accuracy.
you
It
either
depends.
agree with
No,
them.
no, it's not.
Yes,
it depends on the level of
you
accuracy.
either agree
And
with them
you
or
are
you
saying it
don't.
yourself, Rachie. You fucking troll. You're saying it yourself right now. You either agree with it or you
Agree
don't.
with them or you don't. Pick.
Right. So you agree with Newton's law of gravitational attraction then?
I agree with Newton's first, second, and third law. Do you?
So you agree with Newton's law of gravitational
Do
attraction?
you agree with Newton's first, second,
So you
and third
agree
law?
with
Yes or
Newton's
no?
law of gravitational attraction?
Do you
then?
agree?
You
I'm
agree
talking
with
about his
Newton's
first,
law?
second, and third law.
So you agree with Newton's law of gravitational attraction then?
I'm talking about his
Yeah,
first,
I don't care what you're
second,
fucking
and third
talking
law.
about. This is my show, and you'll answer
Yeah, you
my
don't
question.
care because you don't care about
No,
reality.
I've already answered that question. Depends on the level of
You don't
accuracy.
care about reality.
Yes, I do. It depends on the level of accuracy.
So is his first and second
Depends on the
law
level of
reality,
accuracy.
yes or
Depends
no?
on the level of accuracy.
yes
You
or
fucking
no.
dipshit.
Yes
It's not a yes or no question.
no.
Depends on the level of accuracy. I agree
Yes
with all of Newton's
or
laws.
no?
I agree with all
You
of
agree
Newton's
with
laws.
his first and second
I agree
law,
with all
yes
of his
or no?
Newton's laws in a Newtonian world.
So then you agree in order to have an acceleration you need a force.
In a Newtonian world, yes.
No, not in the Newtonian world. In the world.
In the
reality,
Newtonian world.
In the world.
In a
No,
Newtonian
not
world,
Newtonian
yes.
world, not FTFE world, not Ricci
In a Newtonian
not
world, yes.
Warrior world, not Gleam
In a
world,
Newtonian
not
world, yes.
anybody world.
In a Newtonian
No,
world,
in
that
the
is the
world.
answer you're getting, you fucking
In
moron.
the world. Yeah,
In a
that's the answer I'm
Newtonian
getting.
world.
You can't.
In a
you can't
Newtonian world
actually
is the
say
correct
reality
answer
ever.
because for everyday physics we
No,
live in a
no,
Newtonian world.
in the world.
Yes,
Not
yes, you
Newtonian
fucking
world.
idiot. Shut up.
Not Gleam's world.
Shut up.
Not Ricci's world.
Shut
not
up.
FTFE world.
Shut up. Don't make me mute you.
Yeah,
When I say
'cause
shut
you
up, you
can't
shut up.
answer it.
I answered it.
Yeah,
You're
mute
just
me 'cause
ignoring
you can't
it.
answer it, and I'm.
Right. I've answered her question. She just says that I'm not answering it. So I'm just going to mute her for a second, so that I can like talk to you guys without her babbling in the background incessantly, whilst Big Blue enters. I'll unmute you in a second, Rachel, if you behave and shut up for like 30 seconds. Big Blue, how you doing? Big Blue, how you doing? You there?
Get the mic off mute.
Hey.
I'll be okay. How you doing, man?
How you doing, buddy? Rachie is extremely frustrating, isn't
Hello,
she?
Reggie.
Right, let's unmute Rachie. Rachie, Blue Marble's here to talk to you about the Cavendish.
Hello, Reggie.
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are now.
Hello, Blue Marble Science.
You can talk to Blue Marble about his parlor
Hello,
trick.
Reggie.
Hello, how are you?
I heard you saying it's a parlor trick. What's the trick? Can you tell me?
The trick is, yeah, of course. Would you agree that in Newtonian world you need a force for acceleration? Yes or no?
Well, I agree that you need a force for acceleration. I would agree that a force is mass times acceleration, just as Craig told you.
Okay, and how can you have acceleration without a force?
Gravity produces that.
Is gravity a force in order to produce that acceleration, like Newton's first and second law says?
So she's deflecting from the Cavendish
Einstein
experiment,
explained
I noticed.
That's exactly what happens.
Yes, but Newton's first and second law says that you need an acceleration. A force for acceleration.
The intrinsic property of mass is gravity, and that is the acceleration that you're looking for. If you have the acceleration and you have a mass, you then have a force.
But how do you have acceleration without a force?
Newton even says it in his first law, if you read the entire thing.
Okay, so how do you have acceleration without a force?
Listen, gravity is what produces the acceleration.
How do you have acceleration without a
force? All
force?
that's needed to have the force if you've got a mass present, right? In Newtonian physics, Newton's first law actually says, unless acted on by an unbalanced force. What's another word for an unbalanced force, Rachel?
Again, you need two forces, or at least one force for an unbalanced force. So, again, how do you have acceleration without a force? Can you explain that?
An unbalanced force, by definition, Rachel, is an acceleration.
Right. And Newton's law says that you need a force for an acceleration. So, how acceleration without a force?
All right. In every case, force is mass times acceleration.
Okay, and how do you have acceleration for the mass times acceleration, the acceleration? How do you have acceleration without a force?
You have acceleration due to gravity, due to the warping of space-time.
So gravity is a force?
Gravity is the warping of space-time.
Okay,
is gravity a force, yes or no?
Let me interrupt here. We specifically brought Blue on because he has himself built a Cavendish experiment. So you have said it is a parlor trick, right? Which means that somehow Blue Marble Science is tricking us, right? So can you please tell us both in what way you think Blue Marble Science is tricking us to do this parlor trick?
Yeah, I'd like to. If I did, I didn't mean to. So tell me how I tricked you.
Yeah, I don't think you're tricking me. What I think is that you are going with what they say and you've built it the way they say it pretty much, and you've done what they say. But the way that they built it is a parlor trick. But what I'm asking you, Blue Marble Science, is how can you have acceleration without a force?
And I think you've heard this about 50 times already tonight.
More.
That acceleration is what happens when you warp space-time.
But you're not answering the question.
When masses every mass warps space-time a little bit, right?
Sorry.
Now, in the case of this Cavendish out here, I've got some 22 kilogram lead balls, and they warp space-time a lot more than the little 0.78 kilogram small balls that are part of that are on the torsion balance itself. but both masses
So you are
warping
saying you can have
space-time,
acceleration
and that
without a force, correct?
and those gravity wells that are being created around both of those masses are warping space-time, pulling those two things together, accelerating those masses together. That's how it
Okay,
works.
so can you have acceleration without a force, yes or no?
Can you have an acceleration without a force? Can you have a force without an acceleration is the question.
No, the question is because Newton's law says that something will move at constant speed unless acted upon by a force. So again, can you have an acceleration
No.
which is a change of velocity
Wait.
time?
No, not acted upon by a force. This is very important. This is critical. Acted upon
Yes,
by
that's his
an
first law.
unbalanced
Rachie, don't interrupt. Let Blue finish, please.
definition. An unbalanced force by definition is an acceleration.
Right, so Newton's first and second law says in order to have an acceleration, you need a force. So do you have a force for that acceleration, yes or no?
Do I have a force?
Simple yes or no answer.
Say it again. Say it again.
Do you have a force for that acceleration, yes or no?
That acceleration is producing a force.
But Newton's first and second law says in order to have an acceleration, you need a force. So do you have a force, yes or no?
Again,
no,
right,
exactly.
Right,
so therefore,
right,
you don't have the acceleration.
Wait, stop. Right, we're going around the same things that I've schooled you on. Right, I brought Blue on specifically to talk
you
about
haven't schooled me on.
I really have. Now, I brought Blue on to talk specifically about his Cavendish experiment. All right, so you need to explain to us how this
and I'm asking him about it, but you're interrupting.
No, you're not asking him about it. You're asking him about Einsteinian and the Newtonian physics, right? We're talking specifically.
I'm asking him.
Right, wait, let me finish. We are talking specifically about the mechanics behind Blue Marble Science's Cavendish experiment. Okay, so
exactly.
you are saying it's a parlor trick. So you need to explain to us how that parlor trick is achieved, specifically with maths to back up your assertions.
Which is what I'm doing. So again, can you have an acceleration without a force?
That's not telling us how the parlor trick.
Yes, it is, because it's a parlor trick if you cannot have an acceleration.
Yeah, no, that's just making an assumption. Tell us how the parlor trick is done.
I've got a torsion beam out there, a torsion balance. It's 2 lead balls. They weigh about 780 grams each. They're hanging on a bar that's about 4 feet in length, a little over a meter in length, okay? And that bar is hanging from a torsion wire. The wire is 7/1000 of an inch diameter tungsten wire, and it's about 7/10 of a meter in length. Now that forms a torsion balance. And a torsion balance, Richie, is a horizontal pendulum. That's what it amounts to. If it were a gravity pendulum vertically, then we could figure out the period of oscillation of that simply by the formula 2 pi times the square root of L over G, where L is the length of the pendulum and G is little g, our gravitational acceleration. But with a torsion balance, it doesn't have little g anymore. It has to have something else. And the something else is the restoring force, the torque that's in the wire. So we have almost the same equation, except it's 2 pi times the square root of I over K, where I is the moment of inertia of that beam, and K is the torsional constant, okay? Now, with that thing hanging, and the big mass is not anywhere near the little ones, in fact, in a neutral position where they're equidistant, away from both of the small masses, the torsion balance will hang virtually motionless, pretty much centered right there in that enclosure that it's in. But when I move those large masses, I don't touch the enclosure at all. Nothing touches it. When I move those large masses in close proximity to that enclosure, the torsion balance rotates in whichever direction the big balls are positioned. It'll rotate in that direction towards them. And when I reverse the big balls, it rotates the opposite direction. It's not a trick. That's what happens. And I've done it a lot of times. There are hundreds of hours of video out there, live stream that I've done, showing this thing doing it.
So my question to you,
I'm not sure if I missed.
My question to you, Rachel, would be what causes that acceleration?
Right.
Okay, I'd just like to say that Blue Marble Science was breaking up, so therefore I couldn't hear like what he was saying because it went pretty much quiet. But again, you can't have acceleration without a force according to Newton. So how do you explain that? Are you there? Can you hear
We've
me?
been all through. We've been all.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
we've been through that.
We've
Right.
already gone on through that, Richie.
Right, now,
Yeah, what
my
do you have
question
to
to you,
explain?
Rachie, is what is causing that acceleration of the smaller masses towards the larger masses? What is actually causing that in reality?
You yourself are saying you can't have an acceleration without a force. Yet those balls are accelerating. The small ones are accelerating toward the large ones. Something that appears to be a force is acting on that balance. That something is gravity. Now, the more elegant explanation of it is the warping of space-time.
A more
But
accurate
for practical
explanation.
purposes,
Hello, are you there?
practical purposes, we just continue it. We consider it to be acts like a force.
We are here, Rachie. Are
Because
you
it
not
does.
listening to anything we're saying?
Yes, but I exited the call so that I could rejoin because I couldn't hear what you were saying as you was breaking up. So I decided to rejoin.
Okay, right. The long and short of it is that the question that comes from Blue's experiment is what is causing the acceleration of the smaller masses towards the larger masses? In reality, what's
That's
causing
exactly what that's exactly what I want to know when you haven't got a force for it.
But our explanation is gravity. What is your explanation for that happening?
Right, but gravity isn't a force, and Newton's law says that you can't have acceleration without a force.
Right. So if gravity isn't a thing, as you're claiming, what is causing that acceleration?
Well, that's the thing, ain't it? You can't have acceleration without a force. So
I'm not talking to you.
That.
Just simply answer the question. What is causing that acceleration?
Can you have acceleration without a force?
Rachie,
According to Newton's law.
I'm asking you a question. What is causing?
Yes, you are, and I'm asking you one back.
No, yeah, but I just want you to answer the question, right? If gravity isn't a thing that can do anything, what is causing that acceleration?
Well, I don't know because unfortunately you don't have a force for gravity, so it's definitely not gravity, is it?
Right, nice assumption there,
Yeah.
except for it matches all the descriptions of gravity.
Except you can't have acceleration without a force according to Newton's first and second law. Are you denying Newton's first and second law?
According to Newton's law of gravitation, you certainly can have that. Newton's law of gravitation says force is proportional to the product of the masses divided by the square of the distance between their centers. His second law says F equals ma. You can say ma then is proportional to the product of the masses divided by the square of the distance between them. You get rid of the little mass, and now you've got acceleration is equal to the big mass divided by the square of the distance. Do you understand?
Maths hurt. No, she doesn't understand.
That's where the acceleration comes from. And that's what Newton said. Did you get that?
She's probably pretending to have connection issues again. Because she's been fine this whole time, but as soon as you come on and explain things in a much more calm manner than me, Blue Marble Science, but to be fair, I have been trying to answer her one question for nearly 2 hours, so can you blame me for getting frustrated?
I know what you mean.
To rejoin again as you broke up.
No, it's just you that's breaking up, Rachie. I imagine your inability to use technology properly or something.
No, it's probably you that's causing it, as you can't answer the question as what causes an acceleration without a force.
Well, Blue just actually answered that for you just then.
Well, I obviously missed it because you was breaking up.
Because you
or
were pretending
doing something.
to be off the call, yeah.
No. Which is why I
Can you
rejoined.
go back through it for
Yeah, do you want to go through that again? So, Rachie, listen up to what Blue says now about the force and acceleration, the thing that you are pretending to not understand because you're in attention-seeking troll.
Yeah.
Rachie, I want you to put two of Newton's equations together, if you would. His second law, which says force is equal to mass times acceleration, and his law of gravitation, which says force is equal to, or proportional to, the product of the masses divided by the square of the distance between them. Now set those things equal to each other. You've got mass times acceleration equal to the product of two masses divided by the square of the distance between their centers. You get rid of one of the masses, and you're left with acceleration equal to mass divided by the square of the distance between it and whatever it's attracting. That's where it comes from. This is Newton.
Right, but Newton said there was a force. So is there a force, yes or no? After all,
No,
Newton's
it's just
law
you
of
got an
gravity is
acceleration,
a
and that's all
force
you
of
need.
gravity, right?
Now you have an acceleration, and if you have an acceleration, all you need is a mass, and you have a force. It's all
So
over.
mass equals force.
Times acceleration.
Yes, so how do you get the
Times
acceleration without a
acceleration.
force?
Irrelevant.
I just explained
No,
it.
it's not.
I mean, Blue just
just
explained
explained it
it to you, you know, but...
He explained about Newton's law of gravitation, which is fair enough. But
And
Newton's
he
law of
also explained about Newton's second law, if you were
yes,
listening.
which was F equals ma. Yes, correct. However, Newton's one law, where he says the gravitation law, says the force of gravity. You don't have a force.
We have a force due to gravity.
I got rid of that.
Yeah.
Actually, I got
How?
rid of it completely, didn't I?
Yeah, do you want to
How?
run it right? Maybe you should write this down, Rachie. Do you want to just run for it once more, Blue?
Yeah, write this down. Okay, write the two equations down, Rachel. Write Newton's second law down, which says F equals ma. Okay. Craig, you can do this. You got
I'm
the.
gonna do
I don't
it
have a
along with you.
whiteboard.
Okay, can I
In
just
fact, I don't
stop
have
you
a
there?
camera.
Where did you get the A without a force?
We're just talking about Newton's laws
Wait
here.
a minute. Let's go
Yeah,
through
where
this.
did you
This
get
is
the
Newton.
A without a
Okay.
force? Remember, A
This is
has to be
just a
caused by a
minute.
force. Yeah, I'm just
Newton's
asking.
second
You're
law.
saying F equals ma.
Yeah.
I agree. But where did you
F
get the
equals
A
ma.
from to
Okay,
begin
you
with
agree
without a
that.
force?
All right.
Yes, but where did you
Okay,
get the
now
A
let's-
from without a force?
Now let's go ahead. Now let's go
Where
ahead
did you
to
get the A
the-
from
Right,
without a
right,
force?
just, hey, right,
Which
you be
says-
quiet,
Why
Rachie,
can't
and
you
just
answer
listen.
the question?
Rachie, just be quiet
No,
and listen.
I-
Rachie, just be quiet
I
and
want
listen.
to know-
Rachie, just be quiet
I want
and
to know
listen.
where you got the
Rachie,
A from.
Rachie,
Where did you get the A from?
Rachie, from F equals ma, from Newton's second law.
Yeah, where did the A come from?
From Newton's second law.
So where is the force that caused the A?
It's right there.
I'm going to show
Where?
it to you in just a second.
It's right there.
I will show it
Where?
to you in just a moment.
Just there. The F that represents it.
Yeah, so the force. So gravity's not a force. Sorry.
Creates a force, yeah. Gravity's the
So
acceleration.
where did you get the A from? The A
The
needs a force.
Yeah, there's the force.
Yes. So where's the A come from? What's the force?
The A comes from Newton's second law.
So where's the force that gave you the A?
Right there.
No, what force gave you the A?
That force is the F equals ma.
We're getting rid of
Well,
the
where did you
force
get the
right
A?
now, Rachie.
You
Rachie.
can't have the A without a force.
Craig.
Right, yep.
Therefore,
right.
you have no
Okay,
A.
Rachie,
Therefore,
now-
A equals
Rachie,
0.
be quiet. So, sorry,
A is
carry on.
0. Okay. Carry on. A equals 0. Carry on.
No, A does not equal 0.
So now all we got to do.
Obviously it does, because you don't have a force for it.
Equal to each other. Now all we got to do is set those things equal to each other, Craig. MA now equals G M1 M2 divided by R squared.
You can't have A without a force.
According to Newton, it's right here.
Over R squared. This is Newton talking here, right? Yeah.
How did you get the A? Show me the A.
That's right.
How did you get the A?
We got it from Newton's second
Now.
law.
Now cancel.
Where?
Cancel.
Show me the A.
cancel.
Right there.
We're trying to, Reggie. If
Yeah,
you
now be
Okay,
quiet. Yeah, be
there
quiet.
is-
Right,
Cancel.
Rachie, just be quiet
Yeah.
and have the maths
Cancel.
lesson for a sec.
Cancel the M1s. Divide by M1 on both sides. Bingo.
Right, so
Yeah, I
Right.
still don't see where you
Yeah.
got the A.
You end up with
yeah.
A is equal to G times M2 divided by R squared. There's
So
where
what
the A
caused the
comes
A?
from.
Newton's second law.
M2.
So there's
That
a force.
mass.
How did you get
That's
the
where
A?
the A comes from.
It's
How
in
did you
Newton's
get the A without a
The
force?
A is in Newton's second law, as you keep telling us.
Okay, and how did you get the A?
From Newton's second law.
You keep saying Newton's second law, which is
Yeah.
F equals ma. Okay,
Uh-huh.
fair enough. Where did the A come from? What caused
There's
the
the
number?
maths. The A
Yeah,
comes
what
from as we can show you here. The A comes from G times M2 over R squared. That's where we get the A from.
The what, sorry?
As like so you've got F equals ma and Fg equals gm1 m2 over r squared. Okay. Cancel out the force. You get ma over ma equals g m1 m2 over r squared. Cancel out the m1s. You get ma over m1 equals g times m2 over r squared. So a, which is this a that we're looking for, comes from g times m2 over r squared. That's where you get the a from.
Okay, so where did you get the A from? Where's the G? What, do you mean the big G or the little G? Because I can't really see the screen.
Told you that there, right? So A equals the gravitational the universal gravitational constant times the second mass over the distance between the centers, and that's how you calculate.
So you don't need a
acceleration.
force for acceleration.
That's what you get for the
No,
A.
you just need a mass, and it says so right there.
So you don't need a force. So Newton wrong, yeah?
Well, no, this is Newton's math here.
Yeah, but
So-
Newton also says that you need a force to cause an acceleration. So you
Not
can't have
according-
A, which is acceleration.
This is what Newton says, and according to Newton, you don't.
But according to Newton's first and second law, you do.
We just took Newton's second law, F equals ma, and showed that that A does not need a force. It's literally there in the math from Newton.
Okay, fine. Google.
Yeah.
Do you need a force for acceleration? Can you have acceleration without a force? Google it.
So
See what
are you
happens.
saying this math is wrong?
I'm saying Newton's first and second law, like his first law says, a mass will move, an object will move at constant speed without a force. Therefore, you cannot have acceleration because that's not a constant speed without a force.
F equals ma, right?
No, not without a force because you can't have the A
So
without a
F,
force.
F doesn't equal ma. So you disagree with Newton's second law?
I disagree with where you got the A from to begin with.
I just showed you that the A comes from here.
And Newton's law says you can't have acceleration without a force.
Not
Einstein
according to
says
the
there is
math.
no force.
Not according to the math on Newton's laws. No.
Again, this is where Newton and Einstein disagree, isn't it?
Well, no, because this is all Newton, not Einstein.
This is where you have to choose which one you believe because they
No,
are in contradiction with each other.
Again, this is not Einstein. This is all Newton.
Yeah, not Einstein, exactly. I'm talking
So
about reality,
Newton
Einstein,
right
Newtonian,
here.
everything.
All right, here we go. Right, Newton right here is saying that an acceleration does not require a force. This is Newton.
Well, what's his first and second law say?
Well, that's his second law there, and we've just taken it and shown that the acceleration in Newton's second law does not require a force. That is what Newton
Does
says.
Does his first law say that you need a force for acceleration, yes or no?
This is what his law says. This is the maths
Does his
behind his
first
law.
Does his first law say you need a force for acceleration, yes or no?
No, it does not.
No, so his first law doesn't say an object will move at constant speed without a force.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that you need a
It
mass for
says about
acceleration.
an unbalanced force.
Yeah,
Yes,
about an
it
unbalanced
does, because
force,
in
yeah.
order to have an acceleration, you need a force.
Not according to the math from
An
Newton's law.
unbalanced force, Reggie.
Again, that's Newton's, not
There's a
Einsteinian.
big difference in a force
Einstein
and an
debunked
unbalanced
Newton.
force.
But this is Newton saying that you don't need a force for an acceleration.
Did Newton say there's gravitational waves?
Newton never talked about gravitational waves.
No, he didn't, did he? So therefore, again, Einstein debunked Newton.
No, he didn't. Newton never
Yes, he
talked
did,
about
'cause
gravitational waves.
Newton
Newton
exactly,
never
because there was no
said. Newton never said there won't be gravitational waves. Newton never said that.
Newton never said there will be gravitational waves.
Yeah, so someone finding something that someone never talked about is not debunking them. You absolute fucking bint.
It is when you say that you need a force for acceleration, but then Einstein comes along saying, "Oh, no,
Do you
can have
disagree
acceleration
with
without a
this
force."
maths? Yes or no?
Einstein does, yes.
Well, no, actually, Einstein says the same here, that you can have an acceleration.
No, Einstein
due to
says
this.
you can have acceleration without a force.
So does Newton here.
No, Newton doesn't. Newton's first and second
Oh,
law
wait,
tells
no,
you that you need a
excuse
force.
me. This is Newton, and Newton does say that.
Yeah, excuse me. What does SG stand for?
The force due to gravity.
The force, exactly. What does A stand for?
Acceleration.
And how do you get acceleration without a force, FTFE?
By the warping of space-time with uneven distribution of mass.
So you don't need a force for acceleration.
Not according to Newton, no.
So an object won't move at constant speed if there's no force there.
According to
So it
Newton,
won't
this is what will
accelerate.
happen.
According to Newton,
Well,
nothing
Newton
will
says
accelerate.
unbalanced force, and like Blue Marble said, by definition, an unbalanced force is an acceleration.
No, Newton's first law says that an object will move with constant speed, constant velocity, unless a force is acted upon it. Do things that fall, like for example in a vacuum, move at constant velocity, FTFE?
No, they accelerate.
No,
of gravity.
so therefore there's a force. Therefore Einstein is wrong, correct?
Yeah, F equals ma. Well done. Thank you for debunking flat Earth. Brilliant.
No, you just debunked yourself.
The fact that you can't see this is absolutely incredible.
I
you
find that myself,
you
but
are
you
the
can't
absolute
see.
queen of Dunning-Kruger. Not understanding something constantly doesn't mean that you are right. It simply means that you don't understand it because, and this is the nicest way that I can think to say this, Rachie, but you are a fucking idiot.
So you can have acceleration without a force. Congratulations,
According to
FTFE, you
Newton,
just
yes.
debunked
Newton, no,
yeah, you
because-
just debunked Newton.
Well, no, because this is Newton, and Newton says you can have an acceleration without a force.
Force of gravity, force of gravity, force.
Where's the force there? Please point out the force here.
FG, FG.
Where?
FG, FG,
Where
FG.
here? Where
Huh?
here? Where here is the force?
How did you get the A without FG?
I did the calculations.
Yeah, which you needed FG.
Uh-huh.
A. How did you get the A without a force?
Warping of space-time.
So no force then?
It's there. The maths is right there, Rachie.
So
you
no
not understanding,
force, then.
again, you not understanding the nuances of how Einstein explains where the force comes
you
from.
don't understand Newton. Correct.
Yeah, you don't understand
There's
Newton.
so much
Correct,
more
absolutely.
I wanted to talk about, but yet you're
I understand Newton.
Wow.
Here is the maths to show that we understand Newton, me and Blue. Right? This is what
And
Newton
Newton's
says.
first and- so Newton debunked himself then, yeah?
No, you just don't understand what that says.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
do.
couldn't
I
do the
understand.
maths. Rachie, you couldn't do the maths, and that's the problem, right? You are literally at the peak of Mount Stupid of Dunning-Kruger, where you've looked up the basic words to try and understand and think you are a fucking expert. There is two options. You are either an attention-seeking troll, or you are the biggest fucking idiot on the planet. That's the only two options.
Okay. Can you give me 2 minutes to give you a link to where the acceleration would equal zero? Because
Can I
there's
do
no
what,
force?
sorry?
Can you give me 2 minutes to prove you wrong, basically?
I can give you 2 minutes so we can laugh at you when you say something stupid, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, give me 2 minutes to find a link for you, and I will show you that you are wrong.
Oh, right, so you're just Googling something. So do me a favour, Google is gravity real?
Is gravity a force?
I didn't say that. You're strawmanning us. No one says gravity is a
No,
force.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
And it's amazing how you're so hung
No.
up on gravity when you're wrong about it.
Well, I'm really not wrong about it in the slightest.
Yes, you are.
All of
Yes, you are.
all physicists agree with me.
Okay. So,
So
for
are
instance,
you saying that you are right and all physicists are wrong?
No, because physicists agree with me, not you.
No, no, they really don't, because there
Yes,
is
they
a
really do.
No, because PhD Tony has spoken to you. He's a physicist. Phil Bell has spoken to you. He's a physicist, and they don't agree with you. So
Actually,
don't
Professor
fucking
Phil-
lie.
I wouldn't bring Professor
Don't
Phil-
fucking lie. All
I
right?
wouldn't bring Professor Phil Bell into it because he agreed with me that Einstein debunked Newton. So yeah,
No, he doesn't agree with that at all.
yes, he did. He agreed that he debunked his law.
No, he didn't.
yes,
Because
he did.
No, he didn't, because I've had him on the channel speaking about that, and he didn't say that. So again, don't fucking lie. Do not say
Oh, really?
that
I can
physicists
show you
agree. Do
evidence
not
where he
say that
did.
physicists agree with you when none of them do.
Again, you can't have acceleration without a force according to Newton's first and second law. What don't you understand?
Wait, hold on. Newton's second law, right here.
First
Acceleration
and
without a
second
force.
Law. First and second law.
Yeah, unbalanced force, right here. No
What does
worries.
his first law say? Something will move at constant velocity unless acted upon by a force.
No, say it right. By a what?
A force.
No, say it. Say the whole thing. By what kind of force?
That an object will move at constant velocity unless acted upon by a force.
What kind
Google
of
it.
force?
Google it.
What
Tell you
kind
what,
of
Google it.
what kind of force, Rachie?
Right now, Google Newton's first law. Go on.
Rachie, what kind of force?
Google Newton's first law. Tell me what it says.
Yeah, I've googled it plenty of times and it doesn't
Google
give
it.
the full
Google
thing.
it. Right now, Google it.
Yeah,
Google
I've
it and tell me what
googled it
says.
plenty of times, right? But
Yeah, so tell me what it says. Google it right
the
now.
full thing, right? The full thing. What is it? The entire
Google
thing.
it right now and tell me.
Right, I know what it is.
Go on. Go on, then Google it and tell me
Yeah,
what. Read it
Google doesn't
verbatim.
instantly
Read
give
it.
you the entire thing. It misses out.
Read it verbatim.
Yeah, again, Google is not a scientific paper. Right? So, what is
so
the
you disagree with Google
entirety?
then, okay.
What is the entirety of Newton's first law? All of it, without missing out any words.
That an object will move at constant velocity unless acted upon by a force that nothing will move.
What
stop,
kind of
or
force? Right,
stop
you
without
are missing
a
out
force.
a word.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
So Google it. Newton's first law. Just Google Newton's first law and read it word for word.
Okay, right.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Newton's first law of motion states that with balanced forces acting on them, objects will stay at rest or stay in constant motion. That is what Newton's first law actually states.
Read the rest of it.
That's actually the entire
No,
thing.
it's not. Yes,
Uh,
screen share FTFE. I know you can screen share. Screen share what your screen shows right now.
Okay, 2 secs. Here we go. Newton's first law of motion states that objects with balanced forces acting on them will stay at rest.
Unless acted upon by a force.
Yeah, balanced forces. Here
Yeah,
we go.
a force.
Balanced. Here we read it. Newton's first law of motion states that objects with balanced forces acting on them will stay
Yeah.
at rest. Balanced forces. So what kind of force
Uh-huh.
do you need to change it?
A force that isn't balanced, therefore a force, FTFE.
So a force that isn't balanced is a what?
a force.
A what? A force that isn't balanced
Oh, so
is
you're
a
saying
what?
it's not a force. So you're saying it's not a force.
A force that isn't
No,
balanced
exactly.
is
exactly.
a what?
So you agree with me?
A force that
a
isn't balanced
force.
is a what? An
force.
an unbalanced force. That is Newton's
Exactly.
first law.
A force.
An unbalanced force. Not just a force,
A force.
an unbalanced force. Unbalanced. Say
So
the
is-
word. Say the
is
word.
gravity an
Say the word.
unbalanced force,
Say the
yes or
word.
no?
Say the word. Say the word unbalanced.
Is gravity an unbalanced
Say
force?
the
yes or
word
no?
unbalanced.
Is gravity a force?
Say the
an
word
unbalanced
unbalanced
force, yes
or
or
we're
no?
not moving on.
Is gravity an unbalanced force? Yes or no?
Say the word unbalanced, yes or no. Say
Amazing, you can't answer the question, isn't it?
I'm talking to you right now. Right? Gravity
Yeah.
creates an
Well, answer
unbalanced
my
force.
question.
Gravity
Shocker.
creates an unbalanced force.
Again, what causes the acceleration without a force?
Gravity.
There's so much more I wanted to talk to you over than gravity, but hey,
Yeah, but you're too fucking stupid to get, to realize that you don't understand
no,
this.
you can't
right?
even understand that you're wrong.
Unbalanced force. That is the answer. Not force, unbalanced force. Okay?
So a force nonetheless.
According to Newton himself, you do not need the force for an acceleration. Newton said
Yes,
that.
you do. His first and second law, Newton. Yes, exactly.
Not according to this. Newton's law, right
According
here.
to Newton.
Except this is Newton. This is Newton, and he disagrees with you.
So you're denying his first and second law.
No, I'm not. I just showed you the math for his first and second laws right here.
And his first law says that in order to accelerate, you need a force. Are you denying that?
No, it doesn't. It says you need an unbalanced force.
Are you denying that?
Yeah,
Are
it
you
says.
denying that? That you need...
Yeah, I'm denying that it says that. It says you need an unbalanced force.
Does Newton's law say you need a force to accelerate, yes
It
or
says
no?
you need an unbalanced force.
Do you need a force to accelerate, yes or no?
Right.
Give us the equation for the first law, please.
Rachie?
Mm-hmm.
Blue asked you something.
What's
What
that?
is the equation for the first law? Do you know what it is?
No, off my offhand, no.
Wait, so why are you talking
But I know
about
what
the
his
first
first law says, which
No,
his
you don't.
first law says that an object will move at constant velocity unless acted upon by a force. Correct or
No, it
wrong?
doesn't. No, it doesn't. It says unbalanced force.
Yes, it does. Oh,
It
so
says
I'll do a video tomorrow proving you wrong then, yeah?
It says unbalanced force, Rachie.
Yeah, so I'll do a video tomorrow proving you wrong then, yeah?
Yeah, okay, but you are only allowed to cite scientific papers, not Google.
No,
Deal?
I will. No, so I'm not allowed to cite Google. So I'm not allowed to type in Google
If you're going to make a
Newton's
video, you are only allowed to cite scientific sources, not Google.
So I'm not allowed to type in Google Newton's
No,
first
you're
law.
not. No, because that's not how we do science.
No, of course
right?
I'm not. 'Cause
You are only.
that.
You are
Debunk
only.
that.
Google doesn't prove anything, right?
Yeah,
Google is not a
debunk that,
scientific
debunk that.
resource. Google is not a scientific resource.
Debunk you.
Google doesn't debunk anything because it's not
There's
a
many
scientific
scientific
resource.
resources out there that say you need a force for acceleration according to Newton's first and second law.
Right,
But you
okay.
want to deny it, go ahead.
Like
Like I said, I can do a video tomorrow proving you wrong if you like.
But you're not allowed to just use Google. You have to
done it
use
before, I
scientific
can do it
sources
again.
only. Rachie, stop interrupting, you piece of shit,
Yeah,
and
no,
listen.
scientific sources.
Yeah,
I believe one's
but
called Varsity.
no, you are not allowed to just type in Google and read the answer. You have
Yes,
to go.
I'm not allowed to.
No, you're not. You're not. Otherwise, your video's just bunk. All right. If you are going to
Did
do
you
a
hear
video,
that, people? I'm not allowed to type Newton's
will
first
you,
law in
will you be
Google.
quiet? Will you be quiet? All right.
Yeah.
No, you are not allowed to just type Newton's first law into Google and then put a video out saying that I am wrong because you typed something into Google. You are only allowed to use scientific papers to back up your claim. Otherwise, you are wrong. It's as simple as that. Typing something into Google does not mean anything. Now, Blue asked you a question, and if you cannot answer this question, then you are not even qualified to talk about the first law. So what is the equation for Newton's first law of motion? Reminder, if you do not know this, you are not qualified to talk about Newton's first law of motion.
Again, I don't know it offhand. I have a bad memory.
So you are not qualified. You are not qualified. You are not qualified. You are not qualified. Right, shut up. Shut up. I'm talking. I'm talking. You are not qualified to have this conversation because you do not know Newton's first law.
First law does not.
You don't know Newton's first law. You don't know Newton's first law. No, you don't. You don't know Newton's first law. Right, Rachie, you don't know Newton's first law.
You're lying to your audience right now, FTFE. Well done.
No, Newton's first law is actually an equation, right? So if you don't know the equation, you don't know Newton's first law, and you are pretending to know it, but you are lying to everybody right now. You don't know Newton's first law. You don't know it. You simply don't know it.
Yeah,
right? So
his first law says that something will move at constant velocity unless acted upon by force.
And what is the maths behind that?
Is that wrong or right?
What is the maths behind it? And
is that wrong or right?
It's wrong.
Is that wrong or right?
It's wrong because it says unbalanced force.
It doesn't say that it will move at constant speed unless acted upon by force.
It says unbalanced
Guess I'll be
force.
making a video tomorrow to prove you wrong then, won't I?
No, what you're going to do is type something in Google and go, oh, I've cherry-picked that and I'm right.
Sources. No, you're cherry-picking what you choose to believe.
Rachie, shut the fuck up and listen. All right? Don't open that stupid cake hole of yours. Just open your ears and listen. All right? Typing something into Google and going, see, I'm right, is not proving your case. It's showing that you are a cherry-picking piece of shit. If you are to talk about Newton's law, I'm talking, I asked you to not open your stupid cake hole. All right? If you are to talk about Newton's law, if you are to talk about Newton's law, you must know the maths behind it. If you do not know the maths behind it, you are not qualified to talk about Newton's law. You shut up. I'm talking. I am talking. No one here replaces experiments with mathematics because we have.
And Tesla even said that himself. You denying Tesla now?
Yeah, Tesla didn't even think I will deny Tesla because Tesla didn't think electrons were real. Don't change the subject.
Did not.
Right?
Oh, well, Einstein didn't think quantum mechanics was real. Do you disagree with quantum mechanics now?
Einstein just didn't understand it. It's fine.
No, Einstein says that God doesn't play God to the universe.
Stop changing the subject.
Make up your mind, FTFE.
Stop changing the subject, right?
No, he's changing the subject.
If you do not know, right, shut up. I'm not wrong. If you do not know the maths behind Newton's first law,
what does the P stand for?
If you do not know,
the buoyancy equation again, you got that wrong, don't you?
There isn't a P in the buoyancy equation.
The rho, the P, the rho.
It's not
P.
P.
You said it stands
rho.
for density of the object. It does not. It stands for density of the medium. Again, you got that wrong, didn't you?
Density of the medium, yes.
Yeah, which you said density of the object. I got a video proving that, so don't fucking go there.
I may have said the wrong word, but I always talk about it being the density of the medium. So
yeah, you get things wrong all the time, FTFE.
Every now and then I say the wrong things, but I'm not wrong about any of this. And again, you are not qualified to talk about Newton's first law because number one, you don't even say. Will you stop? Right. Will you be quiet while I'm talking? Otherwise, I'm going to have to mute you again. All right. Don't overtalk me. This is my show, not yours. So be quiet unless I ask you to talk. Okay? Newton's first law. You don't know it. You don't say it correctly. You don't know the maths behind it. I asked you to not talk. Do as you're told.
You're wrong now, you again.
Do as you're told. And
Not
not
my
talk.
fault, you're wrong.
Do as you're told and
Not my
not
fault,
talk.
you're wrong.
Do as you're told.
Not my fault,
and
you're
not-
wrong.
Do as you're told and not talk. If you speak once more, I will mute you while I say this, okay? I do not want you to speak while I'm saying this. This is your last chance, okay? You don't know Newton's first law. You say it wrong. You miss out. Okay, right. I'll mute you because you're too dumb. Right. You don't know Newton's first law because you don't say the entire thing. You miss out a word. You don't know the maths behind Newton's law. So you are not qualified to even talk about Newton's law or gravity at all. You are also too disrespectful and too much of a piece of shit to shut your stupid fucking face when someone is trying to explain something to you. I'm going to unmute you now, right? And here's what's going to happen. You've been schooled on gravity. It's over. You've lost. You can ask another question now, but we're done with gravity. You have lost. Don't talk about gravity again. So what's your next question?
Fine by me, you're wrong, let's move on.
No, you're wrong. I've already said you're wrong, so shut up.
Yes, you are
Shut
wrong.
up, shut up,
Exactly.
you're wrong. Everything you
So
said is
let's
wrong.
move
What's your
on, that you're wrong, what you said, and I'll do a video proving
No, you're
yeah?
wrong. Everyone said that you're
Yeah.
wrong. Everyone knows you're wrong.
So let's move on. Yes, you're wrong,
All physicists
okay?
disagrees with you. So what is your
Yeah.
next question?
Again, I'll do a video
Shut up.
proving you're wrong.
Shut
but
up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Let's go
Just-
on about
just
the
get on with
shape
your
of the
next
Earth
question.
instead of gravity, shall we?
Yeah, cool. I've got a photo of it right here.
Oh my days. Got a photo of Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster too. Does that make them real?
Well, the fact that I can not only show you a photo, but the negatives.
Oh,
of
so
this
you believe
photo.
Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot is real too,
Nice
yeah?
straw man. Nice straw man.
No. There are photos of them. Oh, you don't believe those?
Can you show
ones,
me the
don't you?
negatives? Can you show me the negatives for the photo?
Do you believe those? Yes or no?
Can you show me the negatives for
Photo.
the
Do you
photo?
believe them? Yes or no?
Can you show me?
Again,
No,
do you believe them,
you're
yes
straw
or no?
manning me. You're straw manning me. All
No,
right?
no. It's a photo. Anybody
this
can
is
fake
not
a
just.
photo.
This is not just a photo. This is the negatives.
Can you fake a photo? Yes or no? Oh, wait there. You was on the International Space Station, wasn't you? In your photo,
Okay.
must have meant you went
Again.
there. You went there.
Rachie, listen. You got two ears and one
Yeah,
mouth.
wrong.
Try and use them in an appropriate manner. Okay. This isn't just
Oh,
a
have
photo.
you?
This isn't just a
Take your
photo.
honor, voice.
Rachie, shut up. This isn't just a photo. This is the negatives that the photo came from. There is no negatives that exist with Bigfoot on. There is no negatives that exist with the Loch Ness Monster on. This is a
So
real
you don't
photo.
think negatives can be faked either? Nobody cares about your stupid photos, you know what I mean? It's CGI, it's fake.
This was 1972. CGI didn't exist.
Yes, they had CGI / animation / whatever you want to call it back then.
They had. Did you say they had
what's his
Flash?
name?
Did you say they had Flash? But do you want to see
No,
the?
I said animation
do you wanna
/
see-
slash.
Do you want to see the kind of best computer animation and graphics that existed in 1972?
I've got one
That's
actually
it.
on my playlist. No, I've got one on my playlist where I've got a satellite of it. If you go to my playlist on my video, on my channel, there's actually a 1960s sci-fi satellite above the Earth, which again looks pretty real compared to the Earth, which is fake.
Okay, so this was the CGI in 1972.
No, it wasn't. Because it
literally
wasn't.
was.
Again,
It literally
again,
was.
you can go to my channel and you can go to my playlist and you can go to Flat Earth / Questionable Globe and you can see in 1960s there is a sci-fi satellite with the Earth below it, and that is not the kind of CGI they had. So why are you lying again to the audience?
This is literally from 1972. This was the CGI that existed in 1972.
Again, go to my playlist.
No,
go to
send me the link right now.
/
Send me the link. Send me the link right now.
Go on my channel. Right?
No, I don't want to go on your channel. Just send me the link.
I can't send you the link without leaving the stream.
Yes,
so
you
again,
can. Just because you're technologically illiterate. Yes, you can.
I'm on my phone. I can't.
Yes, and your phone can multitask. You fucking moron.
No, we can't. Remember,
what,
I left before when we was in a stream before, and I ended up leaving the stream. Do you remember?
So, are you saying you're incapable of
Just
multitasking
because you don't know
on
how
a phone?
phones work.
Are you saying you're incapable of multitasking on a phone that's designed to
Are you saying
multitask?
you're incapable of typing in Rachie 5 zeros and then going to Flat Earth / Questionable Globe and finding the satellite image, which is
You're the one making the
sci-fi.
claim, so you should present the evidence.
Again, I've told you where to find it. Is it my fault that you can't follow instructions?
Oh no, I would like you to send me a link, but you're just too dumb to do it. I mean, I'm
Okay,
already
I
on.
told
I'm
you where
already
to
on the
find it.
page. I'm already on the page. I'm just
Go
showing
to
that you're too
YouTube.
dumb to
Go
even
to
use a phone.
00000.
Yeah.
Find the playlist for FE/questionable globe.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Scroll down.
Rachie, I'm already there. But I was just proving a point that you are technologically illiterate and unable to even do something simple.
Scroll down. And you will see that there is a 1960s sci-fi thing which shows the Earth beneath it and a satellite.
Which is the name of the playlist?
FE/questionable globe.
Flat Earth / questionable globe.
Yes. And then scroll down to what looks like a satellite above the Earth and you will find it. And you want to say that's the kind of CGI/animation/ whatever you want to call it for 1960s? BS.
Where,
Seeing Pong on the screen really brings back some memories, Craig.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when my sister got that for Christmas one year. Listen, I'm gonna bow out, guys. I'm gonna leave you guys.
Thank you very
with it,
much for
okay?
coming on, Blue. I do
Rachie,
appreciate it. Sorry that you were
Sorry
faced
for that,
with such
Blue, and
ignorance.
take care.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
for
enjoyed
FTFE's ignorance.
the discussion, Rachie, and I look forward to your video. Okay, you take care.
Okay, thank you, and you, Blue Marble Phones.
Okay.
And there's
All right.
so much nonsense in here. I'm struggling to find the thing that you're talking about.
Nonsense. There aren't that many videos in there, FTFE.
Really, because I'm at 51 right now on that playlist.
51? I only thought there was about 20.
Well, I imagine you're not very good at counting, so...
Is it so hard to find what looks like a globe, well, what looks like the Earth beneath a satellite? Is that so hard when there's only one picture of that?
Well, yeah, because there's so many videos, I'm having to go through it, and I haven't seen that.
It's even called Sci-Fi 1960s.
It's called Sci-Fi 1960s. That helps.
Something like that, yes. It's got that in the title somewhere, yes.
I mean, I'm going through that entire playlist, and... Satellite.
Do you have to do a video showing you're wrong about that? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now where did you get the information?
But you want to say this 03 tech, whatever you want to call it, is the kind of animation / CGI / whatever you want to call it from 1960s? That's BS. Even Buzz Aldrin will tell you that when they landed on the moon, you didn't actually see them land on the moon. He actually tells you on Conan, whatever his name is, that actually what you were seeing is animation. It's not real. He even tells you that.
Which video in
But
particular
you think you saw them land on the moon.
Which particular
hilarious.
video are you talking about? Because there is animations and there's also real ones.
The one that Buzz Aldrin was on Conan Late Night Show, whatever it's called. Yeah, and he says you've seen animation. You didn't know. Conan said, "Oh, we seen you land on the moon when I was a child." He says, "No, you didn't."
Oh my God,
no,
Rachel,
you
you're so
What
fucking
you seen was
stupid.
animation. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So this video isn't from 1960.
Yes, it is. It says 1960 sci-fi. You ignoring that?
Yeah.
There?
But did you read the actual whole description?
So what does the title say?
Yeah. It says satellite orbiting Earth, 1960 science fiction, 35 millimeters.
So are you calling the title a liar?
The title doesn't give the description, it's just a title. When you actually
So
look
is
at
it CGI or is it real? Is it fake or is it real?
yeah, it's CGI, but it's not from 1960s. If you read the description and then go to the website it's from, it's people that create animations. They tried to make this look like it would be from the 1960s. This is not
well,
a
again,
clip.
like I said,
this is not a clip of CGI made in the 1960s.
Your opinion, and again, Buzz Aldrin.
No, not my opinion.
You've
actual
seen
fact.
Animation. So if they can animate them landing on the moon, what else can they animate back in 1969 and before? Because he didn't say you've seen them land on the moon. He says that wasn't real footage. He said that was animation. And you can go to that Conan, whatever his name is, show to find out yourself.
Landing 1969. Let me have a quick look at this, what you're talking about. So the first thing was, that wasn't an CGI from the 1960s. anyone can go
Your
to her
opinion.
channel and check that. It's not my opinion. It says that in the description and on the website that it's from. So
Buzz Aldrin is a liar, yeah?
no, because Buzz Aldrin didn't say that. Buzz Aldrin didn't say that was from anywhere. That's nothing to do with Buzz Aldrin.
He said when you saw him landing on the moon, that wasn't real footage. That was animation. And yet you believe that to be real. It's
Can
like
you
a
send me
fake
that
landing
clip
on a
of him?
moon.
Because I don't think Buzz Aldrin actually says that.
Type in Conan and then type in Buzz Aldrin. You should be able to find it. I'm not sure his full name, Conan, the Late Night Show, whatever it's called. Conan and Buzz Aldrin. You should be able to find it. And he tells you, Conan says to him, I seen you landing on the moon. That was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. He's like, that was actually animation that you saw. Not real footage, animation. So if they can fake lowering down on the moon and all the craters in the moon, then they can fake anything, can't they? Yes, they can. Yes, he did. And do you want me to do a video to prove you wrong about that too?
You're going to send me a clip of him saying that was an animation.
Yeah, fine, I will. I'll do a video and I'll send it you.
Yeah, because I honestly don't think that he
100
said
million percent. 100 million percent.
Oh, well, MC Toon says he did say it, but I'd have to see the animation.
Yes, he did, McToon. Exactly. Thank you, McToon.
Wait, one sec.
See, McToon, no?
MC Toon. Oh.
Sorry, MC Toon.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, but he wasn't talking about the animations back in 1969. He was talking about, like, the animations that were made later on.
Oh, so he wasn't talking about landing on the moon. Okay, then. Well, we all know
yes, he was talking about
moon,
landing on the moon, but the animations that Conan specifically showed weren't from 1969.
No, he wasn't showing any animation at the time.
Well,
he just said, I've seen you land on the moon, and I remember seeing it as a child, and it was amazing, blah, 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 blah. And he stopped him halfway through, and he was like, no, you didn't see us land on the moon. That was animation.
Yeah, do you have the clips
But
of
you
that
can
animation?
deny that all you want. Again,
have...
type in Conan and Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah, do you have the clips of the animation, of the actual animation? What it was?
Yeah, he shows it during the video, and he actually shows it during another video, but I'm not sure the name of that. Again, I can find the clips and I can do a video and prove you wrong on that too.
Yeah, but it wasn't like CGI.
But it was animation, CGI, whatever you want to call it, it was
like,
fake.
It wasn't anything.
It wasn't real, it was fake.
And it wasn't like...
exactly. It wasn't real. Wasn't real. That's what you need to focus on.
They didn't have cameras.
Whether CGI or anything else, not real.
Wait. They literally didn't have cameras like showing that. So they had very, very basic animations. And yeah, you can animate, but there wasn't CGI that existed that was good enough to fool people back then. It basically was
CGI. CGI is fake. Animation is fake.
No. Animation is not CGI. They are not the same thing. CGI stands for computer generated. No, they're not pretty much the same thing.
Is CGI fake?
No, CGI isn't fake.
CGI isn't fake, so it's real footage. CGI is real footage, isn't it?
No, I didn't say it's real footage, but CGI isn't always fake.
So it's fake.
CGI
it's not real, it's fake.
CGI is simply computer generated images. It's not
either real or fake.
If you could generate an
real
image based
or fake.
Listen, if you can make a CGI image but based on real data to represent it, then no, that's not fake.
Real or fake?
MC Toon wants to discuss that particular topic with you on his channel.
Okay, that's fine by me. And yeah. But it'll have to be like this.
One sec, I'm looking for the particular animation. But here we do have actual real footage of them landing on the moon. And walking on the moon.
You don't have real footage, mate, of them landing on the moon because Buzz Aldrin tells you that you don't.
Well, except I'm looking at it right now, and I'll bring up that screen.
Except Buzz Aldrin proves you wrong. So who should I believe, you or Buzz Aldrin?
Well, Buzz Aldrin says he went to the moon and says that there was footage of it, so there is that.
Yeah, the thing is, Buzz Aldrin also shoulder nudged, elbowed the Michael Collins when he says, "Oh, I didn't see any stars or anything," because they're all full of.
Of course, you wouldn't see stars. That's what you expect.
Oh no, Michael Collins orbiting around the moon we wouldn't see stars, being that he's in the nighttime sky when he's orbiting around for 3 days or whatever it was. No, of course
not necessarily. No.
Even though Neil deGrasse Tyson tells you as soon as you go above the sky, you will see stars, and then they all contradict themselves on it.
So here is real footage of them actually.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even get the story straight on it.
So here is
And
real
yet
footage.
you believe they went to the moon.
Again, Neil
believe
deGrasse
anything, don't
Tyson
you?
never went to the moon. So here is real footage of them landing on the moon.
Neil
and
deGrasse,
stepping
I'm not
out
saying
onto
he
the
went to the moon. I'm saying when you rise above the atmosphere, you can see the stars. Yes or no?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, no. Okay, so you disagree with Neil deGrasse Tyson then. Oh.
Well,
It's
Neil deGrasse
amazing how you
Tyson's got
always
several things wrong, actually.
Yeah, you Globers always disagree with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why is he getting paid so much money to be wrong all the time?
Cool. Is Neil deGrasse Tyson here?
Well, he gets paid a lot of money to be wrong all the time, according to you people.
I
the
never
point
bring
in
up Neil
paying
deGrasse
so much money
Tyson.
to be wrong?
Not according to you people.
Yeah, I do.
You are the ones that are bringing up Neil deGrasse Tyson. So again, I am literally
Yeah,
showing you real
'cause
footage.
He represents you.
No, he doesn't. I don't have a representative.
Yes, he
Thank
does.
you.
He represents the globe. Yes,
No,
he does.
he doesn't. Thank you.
But it's amazing
so
how you all disagree with the globe representative, isn't it?
he's not a globe representative. You're just making stuff up. So once
Yes,
again,
he's a flat Earth representative,
Rachie,
then, yeah?
So I am showing you real footage of them landing on the moon.
No, you're not. You're showing animation.
This is not an animation.
Yes, it is. Buzolzin tells you it is.
No, he's not talking about the walking around. He's talking about a little tiny cartoon of something, the lander moving through space, not the actual them stepping out onto the moon. This is real footage.
They never went to the moon.
Well, except there's real footage of it here.
No, there's not. That's fake footage. Prove that's real.
So you say? No, I don't
Prove
have to
it's real.
You're the one claiming it's
No,
fake.
no, you don't have to prove your claims, do you?
Oh, well, it was filmed on real cameras and stuff.
Yeah, you can claim it's real, prove it's real.
No, you're the one that's making the claim that it's fake.
A claim without evidence
My
can be
evidence.
dismissed without
well,
evidence.
my evidence is this video.
Your evidence is that, exactly. So prove it's real.
It's there, right in front of you, and there's plenty of other tapes that
Prove
back
it's
it up.
real.
All the other tapes that back it
You
up.
prove it's real?
Yeah, it's a
You
real
prove
tape.
it's real?
It's a real video.
Yes, prove it then.
No,
it
you're
to
the
me.
one. You're the one claiming it's fake. You would have to
No,
demonstrate
you can't
it's fake.
prove it, can you? You can't prove it because it's
Burden of
fake.
proof is on you. This is my evidence.
No,
you
you're
can't
making
say
the
prove
claim
your
that it's
evidence.
real.
No, you can't say prove
You're
your evidence is
making
real.
your claim
No,
that
you
that is
can't say prove.
evidence.
No, you are moving the goalpost by saying no. You need
No,
to now
I'm not.
prove your. Yes, you are. By now saying you
No,
need
that's
to...
your evidence.
Shut
Prove
up.
it's real.
You are saying
Your
that...
claim, prove it's real.
No, my evidence shows that the claim is real. You saying show that the evidence for your evidence is
Get out of the
real
video.
is moving the
Wow.
goalposts.
Yeah, Bigfoot and Loch Ness is real then, yeah.
Yeah, but there's no actual negatives
Video
and
and
stuff for that.
photos of that too, isn't there?
Yep. So I don't care if you think it's fake. It's real, and you can't prove otherwise. And the burden of proof lies with you, not me.
And you can't prove it's real. The burden of
I
proof
absolutely can
relies
prove
on
it's
you.
real because there's data backing it up.
Oh, sorry. When they went to the moon, don't you remember they lost all the telemetry data?
No, they didn't.
Amazingly.
That's also wrong.
Yes, they did. Oh, so nobody said that they lost the telemetry data. I can
No.
show you a video proving that wrong too.
So here's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's
Amazing how
what-
many times I can prove you're wrong, isn't it?
Well, you're not wrong because I'm not wrong. Sorry,
I'm not wrong, exactly. Thank you.
I'm not wrong. You are just being stupid. So, do you want to know what actually
I'm
happened?
not
with
wrong. Yeah,
do you want to
actually
know what
admitted
happened with the
truth for
data, Rachie? Do you want to know what happened with the data?
They lost it.
Do you
They
want to
lost
know
it.
what? No, they didn't lose it. Do you want to know
They
what happened?
lost it.
There is no lost data.
They lost
Do you want?
it.
Do you want to
Yes,
know what
there is.
happened? Do you want the explanation or not?
Go ahead.
All right. Can
But
you be
we all
quiet
know
whilst
they
I'm
lost it.
explaining and not interrupt?
Yes.
Are you capable of doing that?
Yes.
Right. So, when they were recording the data, they only had a limited amount of tapes. So, once the data was recorded onto the tapes, they then backed up that data onto other tapes and sent it places. Right? There was always backups. As was standard at the time, they would reuse the physical media storage and record over what was there. So, the original data was recorded over, and therefore it wasn't on that anymore. But the original data had already been backed up and sent to other places, meaning that no data was lost. All of the data for all the moon landings is available. What isn't available is the original recordings, because they were recorded over as was standard procedure at the time. Do you understand?
So probably the greatest feat in human history got deleted or recorded over because why? Why did they delete the most amazing mankind?
Because
thing
they'd
ever?
already backed it up. They already had the footage
No.
backed up.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, they already
No,
had.
they even said they
Rachie,
lost the telemetry data.
yeah, the original tapes. Yeah,
The telemetry data, yeah.
the original tapes. Yeah,
Amazing.
but
It's one of the most amazing
It had
things
already.
in history,
Rachie,
probably.
Rachie,
And they lost it.
Rachie, listen. All of the data was backed up. All of it. Every single bit of data was backed up. There is no missing data. Do you understand?
Yes, there is. Do you want me to do
No.
a video proving you wrong about that too?
All of the data was backed up. Do you understand?
Do you want me to do a video proving you wrong about that too?
Do you understand that all of the data was backed up? Yes or no?
No, again, do you want me to do your video proving you wrong?
Oh, please do, because your Flerfs are idiots video is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, FTFE video is going to be amazing and spectacular.
Yeah, so 3.5 people will watch yours, whereas maybe 40, 50,000 will watch mine.
Yeah, and they all agree with you. Why? And you know what
Because
they
I'm
say, don't
right.
you, as well, about fools?
Because they agree with me because I'm right. So, again, all of
No,
the
you're not
data,
right.
all of the data was backed up. All of it. You can simply go and look
No, it
this up.
wasn't. They lost the telemetry data. There's literally a NASA person who says that they lost the telemetry data, but
The
you wouldn't
original
know
data,
that,
yes.
okay?
The original data, yes.
Yes, the original data, yes. The
Yeah,
fake
but
data,
the stuff
the
was
original
backed up,
data,
though.
pick up your
But it
mind.
was backed up, so that's fine.
No, they lost the original telemetry data.
Yeah, the
One
original,
of the most
but it was
probably
backed up.
amazing things in human history, and they lost it.
They didn't, though, because it was backed up.
It's amazing how they can lose something so precious and so amazing.
They
isn't
didn't
it?
lose it, it was backed up. So, right.
No, there's literally
Here
a
we go.
NASA saying that they
I'm
lost
gonna
it.
read you from NASA. All right. Okay. So with the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 moon landing approaching, reports have resurfaced that NASA lost some precious video footage of that first moonwalk. Before diving into the details of the two distinct events, they seem to have been conflated. It's worth emphasizing 3 key points. NASA searched for but could not locate some of the original Apollo 11 data tapes. Original in the sense that they were directly recorded. Listen, original in the sense that they directly recorded data transmitted from the moon. An intensive will you stop saying exactly and just listen?
You're basically making my point for me. Well done.
Maybe if you actually read the entire thing. I'm going to mute you while I read this because you're incapable of shutting up. All right. An intensive search of archives and records concluded that the most likely scenario was the program managers determined there was no longer a need to keep the tapes since all the video and data were recorded elsewhere. Let me say that again. Since all the video and data were recorded elsewhere, and then they were erased and reused. The data on those tapes, including video data, were relayed to the Manned Spacecraft Center. During the mission, the video was recorded there and in other locations. There is no missing video footage from the Apollo 11 moonwalk. The search discovered high-quality broadcast versions of the footage. NASA worked with Lowry Digital, a premier film restoration company, to process the video using techniques unavailable in 1969. The restored video was released in HD as part of the 40th anniversary of Apollo 11. I'm going to read this bit again. There is no missing video footage from the Apollo 11 moonwalks. So, please tell me in what way that backs you up.
So you believe everything you read now, yeah, FTFE?
You apparently do.
No, you're the one that's reading it and believing it.
Yeah, this is
and
the
yet
source.
you've got a literal NASA personnel, a literal NASA employee saying that they lost the telemetry data, and you're disagreeing with that person, are you?
Yeah, they lost the original.
Who works for NASA, but you want to believe some words on paper. Well, not even on paper.
This is NASA. This is NASA's words here. Again,
yeah, you know,
they
NASA
lost
also says the moon glows in the dark.
They lost the original. The original.
Believe everything NASA says, do you?
I don't need to believe. They demonstrate that things are true.
Do you believe everything that NASA says, yes or no?
Okay, no, you're not moving the goalposts. We're talking about the data. We're talking about the data that you say was all lost, yet NASA say it wasn't.
Yeah,
lost.
which
So
a
what do you say?
NASA employee says. Are you denying what a NASA employee says?
No, not at all.
Are
but
you
he says
calling the NASA employee
no, but the NASA employee simply says
the
NASA employee simply says that the original things were lost. He doesn't say that all the data was lost.
No, he says the telemetry data was lost, actually.
The original
telemetry
telemetry
data,
data,
yes. He says the telemetry data. The telemetry. He doesn't
the original
say original,
tapes.
he says the telemetry.
And
he doesn't say original.
Have you
Where does he
listened?
say
Have
original
you listened to the entire thing?
Yes, and he
Where
says
he talks
the
about
telemetry data
where
was
he
lost.
literally talks about
does he say
where he
original?
literally where that same NASA employee literally talks about the data tapes.
Yeah, telemetry data, and he doesn't
Yeah.
say anything about original. You can make that
Yeah.
up all you want, but it doesn't
Yeah.
say original anywhere in it. And again, I can prove you wrong about that too.
Yeah, so you're just ignoring what NASA say. That's fine.
So you just believe in everything NASA says. That's fine.
Well, the claim is about NASA, so we're going to listen to what NASA
You know what
says.
they say, don't you, about appeal to authority?
Don't need to appeal to authority. This is
Appeal
we're talking.
to authority is
it's
what
not.
you
This
do.
is not an appeal to authority. We are talking about that
Yes, it
specific
is.
thing.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not. No, it's not. We are talking about
Yes,
that.
it is. You're
No, it's
appealing
not.
to NASA.
No, it's not.
The
No,
people
it's not.
that
No,
lie,
it's
the
not. No,
people
it's
that
not.
lost
Shut
the
up. It's not. It's not. It's
telemetry
not. Shut up. Shut up. It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not an appeal to authority because we are specifically
Yes, it
talking
is.
about. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking. It's not an appeal to authority because we are specifically talking about that thing, so I can absolutely cite that thing. It is not
and I
an
can
appeal to
cite a
authority.
NASA employee saying they lost the telemetry data. No
Yeah,
original.
but he's
in it.
only talking
They
about
lost
the original tapes.
telemetry
That's
data.
it. He is only talking about the
No.
original tapes.
No, he's talking about the telemetry data. Nowhere does
Yeah.
he say original.
And it was all backed up.
Yeah, show me where he says original.
It was all backed up.
Show me where he says original.
In the actual thing, he's talking about
Oh, what's the
where the
matter?
data
You
came
can't
from.
show me where he says original because you're lying
Yeah, I
again.
literally just showed you where NASA said the original tapes.
Show me where the employee that talks about the telemetry data says that it was original.
I'm going to show you
Don't
this
Google
again.
search.
I'm going to show you this again, where it actually
Yeah,
explains
that's
it.
not that is not the employee from NASA talking
This is a
about
NASA employee,
telemetry
though.
data, is it?
This
That
is a
written
NASA
words.
employee.
Hey,
This is a NASA
so you
employee.
believe NASA words?
This
yeah?
is a NASA
Well,
employee.
NASA words also say
This
Einstein
is a
will be
NASA employee, though.
superseded.
This is a NASA employee, though.
Yeah. Well, NASA says just like Einstein superseding Newton, somebody will come along and supersede Einstein. So I guess you believe that too, then, yeah?
No one
Do
supersedes
you want me to show you a
anyone.
video about that too?
You
want
can
me to show you a video
look,
about that too?
Rachie, you can show me videos to the cows come home. You
Yeah, I will.
being
There's
ignorant about
what, 5, 6
understanding.
videos
Shut up!
there that I'm going to prove you wrong.
Rachie, you being ignorant about understanding these videos does not prove anything. Just shows that you are fucking ignorant, right?
He did not say original. You cannot show me he said original
Yeah,
because you
but
are
I
lying.
literally just showed you something NASA that says
Yeah,
that. So
no
it's
original
cool.
said because you're
Yeah.
lying. You can say original all you
except-
want and add the words in
it-
all you want. That's
Yeah, but
basically
it
moving
doesn't matter
goalposts,
because the data
you know,
was all backed up.
deflecting,
Whether you want to
lying.
agree with that or not, it doesn't matter. The data was
No,
all backed up.
no. I'm going to find you
I'm thick
NASA.
as shit. Right, no, Kate, stop. Right, next thing is that you get 2 minutes to have a final word, and then I'm going to read the super chats. So, 2 minutes, final word.
Final word where you
Yeah.
forgot everything that I had written down. That proves you wrong.
You haven't
you
proved
wanted
anything
to talk
wrong.
about gravity
right,
so much.
two words. 2 minutes. On you go. Anything.
2 minutes, okay. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Bye. Never mind. I'm not giving her 2 minutes. She's a fucking moron. There's evidence that I'm wrong, but no. Yeah. NASA said they went to the moon, so it doesn't really matter what he thinks. It thinks. Yeah, I'm ready for bed, so it's been like 3 hours of her just going, nuh-uh, you're wrong, I don't understand. It's a parlor trick. No. That maths, it doesn't matter. This is what it says. But it's still wrong. She is like literally one of the most Dunning-Kruger inflicted people on the fucking planet, and a piece of shit fucking moron as well. You know, she accused me of not being in the military, and not being medically discharged and getting a war pension and stuff. Like, she was spreading around that I was lying about all of that. So, you know, telling everyone, you lied about, being in the military, blah blah blah. You lied about, getting a war pension. And then she said, war pensions aren't even real anymore. War pensions don't exist. So I literally sent her a picture of, my war pension. In fact, you know what? It's got no details on, so I'll show you guys. So she was totally claiming that I'm. I don't get a war pension, and she made the claim that war pensions aren't real and were stopped in 2005. I mean, that's not really true. So then I sent her this to shut her the fuck up, which, as you can see, is my war pension scheme letter dated 20th of April 2021, my yearly update. So she's such a piece of shit that, she accuses me of stealing valor, completely ignores all the science, can't give an answer for why relative density disequilibrium goes one way and not the other, is extremely dishonest and very frustrating. I'm almost convinced that she's a troll, but at the same time, I don't really know. So... Oh my goodness. Well, people have been messaging me. Let me just see if there's anything important in there. Oh, sorry, Draco. I just seen that one. Global Mummy. Right, okay. I mean, I hadn't seen that Conan clip of him, but you know, when he's talking about animations, he's not talking about like really good modern CGI. He's just like a crappy animation, because there wasn't cameras that caught them actually landing on the moon. Obviously, there was a camera on the side of the lander that caught them when they were coming out. Right, so I'm going to read super chats, and then we will. I'll send you over to MC Toon because he is doing a premiere. Now, I did see a super chat come in from Bella Charge when I started, but it seems to have disappeared. Thank you very much, Bella. I can't remember what it said, but thank you very much. Tim Lynch, €2. Why, oh, why'd you punish yourself? I don't know. That was fucking hilarious. Alison for $5 Australian says, good morning, stay hydrated. Now in line with tradition, why is navigation based on the globe? I never got round to asking her that, but she would have just said something stupid. Lord Luminous Pooh, $5 says, I've always wondered how Jesus always looked so ripped. What's his workout? CrossFit. Nailed it. Budum-tsh. Bad Uncle Bob, who uses his free super chat that all members get once a month, who's been a member for 17 months, says, I just face-palmed so hard, it felt like a punch. Shit, I didn't give a face-palm warning. I'm going to get sued. Lord Luminous Pooh, $2. How do emos contemplate each other? Compliment each other. Nice cuts, G. Budum-tsh. Better Charge, $5 says, in free fall, taking gravity out, relative density disequilibrium doesn't work. They all mix up. Rachie did a video of her dropping a density tower like this far and going, it didn't mix up. Yeah, of course not. Draco Fire, $2. Clearly I wasted my time trying to help Rachie learn. So did everyone. She claims that physicists agree with her when I've literally got a physicist messaging me going, I don't agree with her. Lord Luminous Pooh, $2. How many sides to a triangle with sides 1, 1, and 1? Fung is back on Thursday. That should be fun. Draco Fire, $5. If there's an acceleration, there's a force. In this case, an emergent force is a force that arises from the acceleration. It's simple yet complex. Yeah, she agrees F equals ma, but then ignores that F equals ma. It's fucking brilliant. Truth Nerd's been a member for 15 months, says, what force causes the column force, Rachie? Yeah, exactly. The column force is a very good one because it debunks their nonsense. NA, $6.66. Hail Satan. Hey, fight if they don't make shit up when they will have nothing to say. Hail Satan. Hail Satan indeed. Adam Lord, £5. Craig, she's thinking of acceleration like driving a car as if you need to press a gas pedal to get acceleration. I know, that's because they are absolutely fucking clueless about physics. Like, you know, centrifugal force debunks what she's saying. Lord Luminous Pooh, $5. Newton basically said blue car. Einstein said blue Dodge Charger. Not wrong, more specific. Exactly. Not wrong, just more accurate. Robeeve, $2. She interrupts FTFE and cries about being interrupted. I did interrupt her a lot. I'm going to admit that. But she's such a fucking moron and so frustrating that I literally had to. Pentalica, $5. When gravity is or isn't irrelevant, it won't change the shape of the Earth. Definitely a globe. Sparky NJ, $5. I say Newton said you can't have a force without an acceleration. Acceleration equals F over M is the proper way to write it. Yeah, but as this showed when we were rearranging the formulas, she doesn't get maths. Great Circle for £5 says, Rachie, if you can disprove pretty much all of physics, you're sitting on $1 billion Nobel Prize. Why haven't you published your ideas yet? Probably because you can't write. Truth Nerds, €10. You can't mix and match Galilean space-time Newtonian with Einstein's approach in general relativity when there's no force of gravity, but you have a completely different space-time geometry. Straw man. Exactly. Nuances. They don't get it. Monkey in the Works, who's been a member for 15 months, says, did Rachie pass science GCSE? There's no fucking way. Can I just say there's fucking shitloads of super chats, guys, so it's going to take a while. You guys, honestly, you're fucking amazing. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for all the support that you give me. It honestly blows my mind. And remember to share the stream, because that's one of the best ways to help me. Eon Dust, 5 Australian dollars. Why do all Flerfs want to live in Egypt? Because they want to live in denial. Alison, $5 Australian. Loved it when high school dropouts think they know more about physics than the guy who operated a nuclear reactor. Love it. Place your bets now. Yeah, I know, right? I'm arguing with someone right now who says nuclear power is fake. Yeah, I know, right? String News 1, $5. Rachie, in science, you can't nag a law to death. She can fucking try. Judy Bassett, €8. Have Rachie derived the field equations? She wouldn't know what the word derive means. Alison, $5, says, you are arguing for flat earth. Reality has never been part of your argument. All you have is a script based on fallacies. Think with your head. What's PJC Net saying that I was like too nasty to her or something? Well, I didn't want to be accused of being nice to her just because she's a pretty girl. I treated her as I would treat any Flerf, being as ignorant as she was. But I didn't go to the Oakley levels of, nasty, putting my balls in her mouth, saying I'm going to rape her, etc. like that. I'm a bit more subtle with my insult. Maybe not subtle is not the right word. I'm a bit more direct and needed with my insults, whereas Oakley just says he's going to put your balls in his mouth 300 times. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5 says, Newton gave us the general idea, Einstein gave us the nitty-gritty details. Lord Luminous Pooh for $2 says, Nightmare on Pine Street, Return of Dunning-Kruger. Yeah. Let's end the poll. I'll make sure I don't end the stream by accident. The poll, which has had 1,249 votes, 1,250, that's fucking amazing. Means there's been like, 1,500 of you watching this at some point. Well, will Rachie 0000 defeat FTFE? Yes, 14% of you said yes, she would defeat me, because you're, I don't know, insane or something. 24% of you said no, but 62% of you said, what kind of stupid dumbass question? No! Thank you very much. End poll. Literally nearly 1,300 votes on that, which is amazing. Indie Tiger, $5. Sorry, Rachie, force is the product of mass times acceleration. You're saying that acceleration is the product of force times mass, which is wrong. Alison, oh, and it's just frozen. It's back. Alison, $5. It's like Haversine versus Vincetti's in distance counts. Both give me accurate distances. Vincetti's is simply more accurate. I did not know about that equation. I'm going to have to look that up. String News 1 for $2. Rachie is so dense, household objects orbit her. But gravity's not a force. Bad Uncle Bob, 179. Do you count in milliseconds, Rachie? No, she counts by taking her shoes and socks off. NA, $2. Warp drive without dilithium crystals. They can actually use something else apart from dilithium. I can't remember what it is, though. Adam Lord, £5. Rachie just keeps repeating the same words and giggling to herself. It's very suspicious. Are you sure she isn't just a troll? Possibly. Elon Musk for $5 says, take a stick, I use a ruler to find it's 5 centimeters long. Then someone uses a microscope to find it to be 5 centimeters and 7 micrometers. Does that mean I'm wrong? No, just inaccurate. Gareth Bunting, £5, says, could we have Rachie's detailed explanation of what GR and SR actually are? Say 10 minutes on each would be fine. No, because she wouldn't know and you would all facepalm yourselves to death. Rachel O'Daniels, you awesome possum, you. $5. Could I get a shout out for my daughter? Alyssa turns 5 today. Alyssa, is that how you say that? Hey Alyssa, how you doing? Happy 5th birthday. Please understand that the Earth's a globe and science will help you. Hopefully you have a wonderful birthday and a fantastic rest of the year and get what you want. It's my boy's birthday soon. He's going to be 13. I'm scared. The Snark for €2 says, stupid on repeat. Your name is Rachie, 5 zeros. 4 zeros. I'm only giving her 4. Rainy D for $5 says, classic Flerf demands evidence for something, then spouts nonsense without evidence. Also leave Michikaku out of this. Yeah. She doesn't understand that Michikaku is so much deeper than what she understands. Fog Repair Ship Akashi, who's been a member for fucking 6 months, says, so much goalpost moving. Nobody cares about maths. I'm sorry. I need maths for fuel burn calculations or I crash my plane. Seriously, talk to a pilot Flerf. it's scary that there is actually pilot Flerfs. It really is. Syed Ahmed for $4.99 says, was the debate to constantly change the topic? Rachie the Poe, I mean, Flat Earther is all over the place. MC Toon poked me and said that I let her control the topic, probably because she was so frustrating, so I'm sorry if I did that. Eon Dust, $5 She's dodging more than a Dark Souls player. I never got past the first fucking level in Dark Souls. Andrea Zeldich for 50 sex. All the sex. I do like the sex. Question from Rachie. Oxygen was discovered in the 1770s. What did people breathe before then? Just carbon dioxide. Folker Pership Akashi, $5. Holy hell, I haven't seen a projector like this since elementary school. She is the epitome of if I repeat it enough, it will become reality fallacy. Timo Lynch, €5. Why do all these debates turn into proof the entirety of physics to me in detail or else the flat earth? Because they hold much higher standards of evidence for us than they hold for themselves. Because all flat earthers are fucking idiots. Indie Tiger for $10 says, is the clock in Rachie's home accurate enough for her to get to work on time? Is it accurate enough to tell her when to go to bed? If so, why would she want a cesium clock? She wouldn't know what that is. JRock69 for $6.99 Canadian. She may as well be CPing them C's herself. Also, 2 big massive balls. Lol, you got to cut that part out when you talked about Cavendish. Lol. Marty Mad Scientist for 5 Canadian says, someone please clip and use Craig saying, I haven't got big balls yet. Somewhere, somehow. Did I say that? Maybe I'll grow up and be a real boy one day. Gary Little, $5. Using RDD, please explain how the accelerometer in a phone changes from portrait to landscape. Does it work like my inner ear does? I could have brought that up because that always gets them. JRock69 for $6.99. You can lead a horse to all 4 dimensions of the well, but you can't make them drink FTFE. When you're going to learn? Never. This is what I do. This is my life. This is my life. This is my life. This is my life. I'm kidding. I love it. Richard Walker, £4.49. Beam me up, Scotty. I can't take any more. Triumph the Insult Dog for $2. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Connell Silver for $5. I think you owe retards an apology. They're far smarter than flat earthers. Comparing the two is demeaning to those who are genuinely disabled. I do genuinely apologise to all retards. You're all far smarter than flat earthers. JRock69 for $6.99 says, did I say horse? I meant donkey. More like an ass, actually. Truth Nerds for €5. Rachie, I care about reality. Also Rachie, la la la, Cavendish is a parlour trick. Mass is not attracting mass, even though it's doing it in reality. String of News 1, $5. This one trick pony needs to go to the glue factory. Area 85 restorations for $5. How is this relevant? Newtonian or Einstein? The Earth is still a fucking globe. I added the word fucking, but it's appropriate. Mass Debater, who's been a member for 20 months, says 20 months beaches, biatches. No new arguments since 2019. No new arguments since fucking Samuel Robotham, mate. Folker Pership Akashi for $2. For fuck's sake, you can literally derive Newton from Einstein. I know, you can find the link to that on MC Toon's page. String of News 1 for $2. Cherry picking doesn't debunk grapes. Cherry picking is just lying, which he did a lot of. Lord of Luminous Pooh for $5. She thinks Newton didn't take his own laws into account. She doesn't think, so just stop there. Folker Pership Akashi, $2. Who's they? Do they fly an aluminium falcon? Aluminum falcon? Lord of Luminous Pooh for $2. She believes A equals B, but not B equals A, because she's a fucking moron. String of News 1 for $5. Rachie playing telephone with dead people proves nothing. Get a clue. Delco's man for $2 says vacuum chamber no float. Disproving RDD. Connell Silver for $5. Just because you don't understand the Force doesn't make it real. Haven't you ever watched Star Wars? Just a joke at her expense. Star Wars makes me sad because Disney killed it. And yeah, unpopular opinion, but fucking Mandalorian was shit. Draco Fire for $2. A not existing is not the same as A being 0. Almarju for $5 says gravity caused the force, mass times acceleration. It fucking exactly. Aaron Reese for $2. A Flerf bot would be smarter. Yeah, was the Gary bot on today? I don't remember turning it on, actually. Waikika Mookow's been a member for 8 months, says, so is Rachie saying that pineapple does belong on pizza? She is that dumb. Morris Stalker for £5 says, well, I would like to apologise on behalf of all British people for the loss of any IQ points that you have lost because of listening to Rachie tonight. I don't accept your apology. String of News 1 for $2. Google is not a force. Girthy Earth for $5. You can have an apparent force. A mass acted on by the acceleration of gravity causes an apparent force. They don't get it. Demoser for $5. Raichi, regarding Newton's first law, Superman had to stop a train to save everyone on board. Was he, being the force and acceleration? Yeah, but Superman can alter space-time by putting out an extremely strong electromagnetic force because reasons. Laurie Walker for $5. This girl is particularly deluded. Yes, she fucking is, because she worships Anthony Riley. Design Song 1 for $5. Raichi, if you are balanced opposite me on a seesaw and I jumped off, would you accelerate and why? I would love to see that. Extreme Coxer for $4.99. I'm not a Flerf, but Pong was only best CGI in consumer electronics at the time. Not in professional industry. Stop using that argument, FTFE. Okay, fair enough. But still, there wasn't like CGI that could fool people, you know? Syed Ahmed, $4.99. Has this Poe provided positive evidence for flat Earth? Or does the Poe really think talking semantics proves the flat Earth? Option B. Design Song 1, $5. The saddest thing about Raichi is that Fight could be wrong about everything he said, and that still wouldn't prove a flat Earth. Christopher Jordan for $5. Yo, Raichi, how much you bench? You move those goalposts like a dumb beast. Goalposts are now in space. Fucking hell, so many super chats. Girthy Earth for $5. They didn't save the original data because the media on which it was recorded was not archival quality. Exactly. It would probably not even be there, like it would degrade it or something. Stringfellow Hawk for $5. Raichi, what do the names Challenger, Endeavour, Columbia, Discovery and Atlantis mean to you? Because they went to space and you can't deny that. Or she can deny it. Just means she's a fucking idiot. Truth Nerds, €5. Fire all the other orchid workers. Raichi could single-handedly pick the UK's entire cherry harvest. Throw the Dwarf of the House of Torg. Hi, I can't see the ice wall or North Star where I live in Australia, in the south on the coast. How high is your ice wall? I got told today that the ice wall is rotating. Michael Acosta has been a member for 12 months, says that was painful, but it's nice to warm my hands on this dumpster fire. That was nuclear. Do not warm your hands. Radiation poisoning is a real thing. Luke Farwalker, €5. When I back up data and overwrite the original, is that data lost? Flerfs be like, yeah, it's lost. Hilarious. I know, she's a fucking idiot. NA 666. We dig what you do, bro. Hail Satan, thank you very much. And then Eddie Reese, who's been a member for 2 months, the scrapper, says, woo, free super chat, FTFE rocks. Thank you very much. Coordinate 0 for £5. This is the animation Aldrin was talking about. It's obviously not supposed to be real. She is a dim bulb. If anyone can go and watch it themselves. I may have been wrong about what Buzz Aldrin actually said because I hadn't seen that Conan thing. But yeah, it wasn't like supposed to be, look, this CGI is real. Al-Jamarju for $5. So you accept one statement from NASA, but yet you don't accept the other. Cherry picking much and fallacy of stolen concept. Tim Pryor for $5. So no flat earth evidence then once again? Absolutely not. Tim Pryor, NA for $2 says, FTFE, I think you were fair with her, I hope so. Technomancer Magus for $5 says, even if you proved 100% that the Earth isn't round, you wouldn't prove the Earth is flat, because it's fucking not. Rainy D for $5, who's dumber, Oakley or the people who idolise him and fight the flat Earth? Raichi's dumb. Just, that's all I need to say, Raichi's dumb as fuck. New member, Coordinate 0, welcome to Scrappers, thank you. And then some smelly ass beaver says, for $2, you turn on the Gary bot every night, that's why he comes. I hope I don't turn on the Gary bot, that's not one of the things I programmed it for. Aaron Reese says, I was dead on about the Aldrin interview. Conan even acknowledged he listened to the radio for the live landing. Yeah, so that was an extremely frustrating talk with one of the dumbest people that I've ever known, full of more denial than I can shake a stick at. Come back this week for lots more stuff. Share the channel so that more people can see the stuff. Tomorrow, me and MC Toon will be doing a special 3-year anniversary stream featuring a debate with Trey Hutchinson. Then going over to his channel for his debates, obviously. On Thursday, Fung comes back for round 2. On Saturday, Tony Nyam comes back for round 2. And also, I will have my new episode of Flerfs Idiots out and my 60-second entry to Kyle Hill's Wormhole Challenge. Last super chat, Lord Luminous Pooh for $2 says, yes, Hail Sagan, thank you everyone for watching. You all rock. Words can't describe how much your support means to me, honestly. Seeing that there's always this many people in my chat, despite some people not liking me and stuff, it's amazing. But head over to MC Toons now for the premiere of his new video. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.
Good night, guys.